A woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn. You lost your edge, she lost the traction for you. That's how it works. What'd you think she was gonna do? Tell you she cheated? Men cannot afford to get complacent in relationships. Get your fat ass off the couch, start lifting weights, and learn game. You're welcome.
And now your man,
Donovan Sharpe.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 895th edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of toxic masculinity, misogyny, and small bleep energy. It is Thursday, November 10th of 2022. It is good to have you in today. As always, we are multi-streaming live to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, mgtow.tv, manosphere.tv, DLive, Rumble, and in crystal clear, high-resolution 4K to Sharp Stream, which is absolutely free on the App Store and the Google Play Store for iOS and Android. So however you're watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you for making the Sharp Reality Live a part of your daily routine. Quick announcements before we get started here. If you like the video, prove it, and hit the like button. If you like my channel, prove that as well. Make sure you subscribe. If you have a strong opinion, whether you agree or not, drop me a comment and let me know what you think. And let me know what you think. And last but not least, share these videos with anyone who pees standing up if you think they could use this content. If you are not getting notifications from YouTube when I go live, and you're not, download the Sharp Stream app and you'll never miss another live stream. The app is absolutely free, as I stated before. It is available for iOS and Android. Now, when you download the app, not only do you get notifications when I go live on any platform, you also get access to all of my premium live content absolutely free. My dating show breakdowns, my exclusive streams, Red Pill Theater, where I do play-by-play breakdowns of movies from a Red Pill perspective, and everything else that is not safe for YouTube. Again, you can watch all of this live for free exclusively on the app. However, if you want access to the replays and access to the absolute massive archive of my dating shows, play-by-plays, my movie play-by-plays, and over 30,000 hours of premium content not found anywhere, become a Sharp Stream member and or a patron for less than 17 cents a day. As a Sharp Stream member and or patron, you also get access to the podcast versions of my live streams like this one, which is all the content without any of the small talk shilling or me running my mouth about things you care nothing about, like my sponsors, my ebooks, or my bowling scores. To sign up, go to sharpstream.com or patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe. Let me ask you guys an honest question. Wouldn't it be nice to have a woman in your life who loved, respected, and obeyed you? Here's another question. How cool would it be to have a woman who enthusiastically assisted you in your endeavors? Here's another one. How fucking awesome would it be to have a woman who eagerly and willingly gives you the porn star kind of sex you really want? How much more awesome would it be if she actually looked the part? Now, of course, all of these things would be great, but we all know that finding a woman such as this is about as easy as nailing Jell-O to a tree. Fortunately for you guys, I have such a woman and I have written a guide, but she did not come ready-made. Not a chance. I put in a lot of work into building her into the kind of woman I wanted and needed, and 6 years later, our relationship is still awesome. She keeps the house clean. She washes my clothes. She irons my shirts. She cooks. She cooks me awesome food. She is obedient, respectful, and submissive, and she does all of this while handling everything on the back end of my business. And between the sheets, she looks and acts like a porn star every single time we have sex. No exaggeration, guys. She'll tell you as much. Let's get graphic. She wears whatever I want her to wear without hesitation. She never denies me sex ever. She swallows my loads when I tell her to. She lets me go backdoor when I want to. She'll take facials. Guys, she literally does whatever I want her to do, and she does it all eagerly and willingly. Now, a lot of men are probably thinking, well, how the hell can I get a woman to do all of that for me? Well, the answers to your questions are in my upcoming interactive ebook that will be released on Black Friday, entitled How to Train Your Woman. That's right, gentlemen. I have written a guide that gives you step-by-step instructions on how to train a woman to be everything you want and need in a woman. This interactive ebook will instruct you how to reward and punish your woman. It will teach you how to get what you want from her between the sheets. It'll teach you how to set and enforce boundaries and much, much more. Modern women no longer come ready-made for relationships, gentlemen. They are as lost as they have ever been. The average modern woman has no idea how to attract and keep a man outside of a one-night stand or a relationship. Understand this immutable truth, gentlemen. we as men, we have a few options. Okay, we can bitch and moan about how things are. B, we can try our luck overseas. C, we can check out of relationships altogether. Or D, we can learn to train them to be what we want and need them to be. Now, me personally, I'm not here to bitch and moan. And let's keep it a stack. Most of you guys who talk about going overseas never will. But if you really want to know and understand how to train a woman to be as submissive, obedient, and willingly surrender to you like my woman does, guys, scrape together $13 on Black Friday and get my newest interactive ebook, How to Train Your Woman. If you want to be notified the minute it drops, go to howtorelationship.net, plug in your very best email, and you will be alerted the second it drops. You're welcome. It is good to have each and every one of you guys in here today. Later on in the show, of course, I'm going to be breaking down I'm going to be breaking down the Fresh and Fit section of the show where Nina pretty much loses her mind. Nina pretty much loses her mind. I am also, if I can find it, matter of fact, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to find the section. I'm going to have the lovely and talented Devin do this for me. I'm going to play the clip, the Fresh and Fit clip, where I pretty much get in Nina's ass about her bitching and moaning about first world problems. You'll want to stay tuned for that. Also, of course, I will have the Tell Me Why I'm Wrong segment coming up. I have no idea who my guest is going to be. I'm going to be surprised along with you guys. But first, my favorite thing to do. One of my favorite things to do, and that, of course, is watching white girls get arrested. Now, here's the thing with white girls getting arrested. This first video is actually Hope Solo. And for those of you who are unaware who Hope Solo is a former goalie for the U.S. women's national team. There was a big controversy for those of you guys who are old enough to remember. There was a big controversy there's always controversy with Hope Solo. But I remember Hope Solo and Brianna Scurry were the two two best goalies on the team. Hope Solo was clearly the better goalie. She was clearly the better goalkeeper. Eventually, Hope Solo got the job. Hope Solo has been in and out of trouble. She's been in, she used to date, I think, or she used to be married to Jeremy Stevens, I think, of the Seattle Seahawks. Yep, you guys nailed it. Hope Solo is absolutely, yep, you know it. Yeah, dude, white dudes are not trying to deal with masculine women. They're really, really not. Hope Solo is as masculine as they come, but she is also a white girl, so she thinks that she is above the law. And so what we are going to take a look at is she gets booked on DUI, child abuse, and resisting arrest charges. Let's take a look and listen.
Winston-Salem police found Hope Solo on March 31st.
Hold up, did they say Winston-Salem?
This is how Winston-Salem police found.
Wow, this was in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. How about that?
Hope Solo on March 31st. Someone saw her sleeping with her car running.
Oh, boy.
Her twins inside.
Oh, boy.
For more than an hour.
People were kind of concerned saying you guys were out here sleeping and wanted to make sure you were okay. Okay, what's going on? Why are you sleeping out here in the parking lot?
Because I took a nap.
No, why?
Okay, where do you live? 1324 code 2. Okay.
I don't know what a 1324 code 2 is, but it can't be good.
The video shows the officer was immediately suspicious that he was dealing with a drunk driver.
Are your kids okay?
Yes.
Okay, why are you sleeping in a parking lot?
Because I'm tired.
Okay, where do you live?
Uh-oh.
How much have you been drinking today? Why don't you turn the car off first? Let's turn the car off first.
It's okay if I...
It's okay, what?
Uh-oh.
How much have you drank tonight?
Oh, boy.
You sure?
I'm perfectly fine.
I'm asking you how much have you had to drink. I'm not asking you how much are you fine. I understand you're talking to me. How much have you had to drink tonight?
I like this police officer. He's not letting her filibuster. He's not letting her filibuster. She's like, I'm perfectly fine, da-da-da-da-da. Here's another thing. Hope Solo is not this calm. Like, Hope Solo is high. Dude, that's a high-octane bitch. That's a high-octane bitch. Real shit. And so the fact that she's like, I'm perfectly fine. Maybe the officer knows who Hope Solo is? Maybe?
Zero alcohol.
Oh, thank you, sir.
All right, do you have your ID with you?
So
Uh-oh.
I'm just,
Oh, boy. See? Here we go. Do you see what just happened? Oh, wow. Do you see what just happened? Look, when the officer asked her for her ID, she immediately knew, oh shit, they're going to run my license and it's going to be like a traffic stop. Watch. Watch. I guess this is, and I haven't watched this all the way through, but you guys can see that her body language immediately changes after he asks her for the ID. In other words, shit just got real. Watch.
All right, do you have your ID with you?
Watch. See, first she starts to look for it, then she's like, uh-oh. Oops.
sir, I'm just,
She didn't want to give her.
Okay, can you get that for me, please?
of course, give me a second.
No, can you do that now, please? Thank you.
I'm going to.
But Solo
Oh, he said, can you do that now for me? Thank you. She's like, yeah. You see that? This officer's not taking any shit.
didn't. Instead of handing her ID over, she continued scrolling on her phone
Hey, look. I have a police officer.
and made a phone call, all while the officer waited at her window.
I just was trying to figure out because I'm sick of American driving. Like, yeah, I know. I mean, I pulled over in a Walmart parking lot to
This appears to be a fake phone call.
take a nap, but I have no idea why he's here. But, you know.
Solo tells the officer she's going to record him, but she still doesn't hand her ID over.
Okay, so they were just concerned. And now when you roll up the window, I can smell alcohol. I can smell sweet odor of alcohol coming from
Uh-oh.
I'm so sorry.
Oh,
And
boy.
your eyes are telling me something different by looking at them, too. I'm okay.
Listen to the officer. He's like, I smell the sweet smell of alcohol. And your eyes kind of look dilated, too. He's being all cordial with her. Hey, you're a fucked up bitch. Like, you're drunk.
Can I just be straight with me?
Just be straight with me.
Young 77 Charles
Okay.
He said, just be straight with me, zero alcohol. At that point, and look, check this out. How can I put this? And she has her kids in the car, which means there's endangered. Right? Which means there's danger. But I think the officer, I think if she just admits, hey, you know what? Yeah, I had a little bit to drink, but I haven't gone anywhere. Right? Listen, it's not against the law to drink in your car, right? I'm sure that it's frowned upon to be drinking in the car with your kids, but they don't, like, the officer wasn't there. I think the officer is giving her an opportunity. He's giving her an opportunity to really lie her way out of the situation, right? Because at this very moment, nobody's in danger. I'm sure maybe somebody was in danger before, but he's trying to give her a way out, and she's like, nope, I'm just going to keep denying it. Joey said there's kids in the car. Yeah, there are kids in the car. And these are her twins. My mistake. Shout out to Basil Denson with the $5 super chat. Says, Donovan, seen your video on Kevin Samuels. Definitely changed my view on KS. That's how it works. El Chingon, $2 says, your live streams are funny as hell, Mr. Sharpe. I appreciate that.
0Y77CA.
And yes, she's clearly, Ramiro says she's, she put the mask on to hide the stench. Yeah, of course.
Advise it's been running since noon today.
Can you get your ID, please?
Inside the vehicle, but the advise is very dark in your window.
No, you're not. You're on your phone. I need you to get your ID first.
Yeah, this is the white girl move. The white girl move is to stall. That's actually a woman move. Because remember when the bitch in Atlanta was like, can I get your badge number, please? And blah, 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 blah. He's like, fuck it. Oh my God, Mr. Brooks, da-da-da-da-da-da. Lorenzo Rock said she already knew she was going to be on ESPN. Yeah, right?
I have every right to.
You do, and you have a right to comply with police when they're asking you for your ID.
Of course.
Can you please get that for me?
See? He's not
Where are
being...
you trying to come? Where are you coming from anyway?
I'm not.
Okay, where are you coming from?
my vehicle is not even.
A second city officer pulls up.
She's drunk. And she's got 2 kids. She was passed out asleep in the front seat.
Oh my God. Uh-oh. Tisk, tisk, tisk.
She won't tell me anything. Like she said, I was just sleeping.
Hubert Kolakowski nails it. Says, lady, your problems won't disappear in 3 minutes of stalling. Dude, this is the white girl thing. This is the white girl thing. Grenada says she had her camera on with that cell phone. The call was a fake one. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too.
I was just sleeping. But you could smell like the odor, a sweet aroma anyway coming from inside that smells like alcohol. And she's completely oblivious to everything that's like going on.
Yeah, she's done. She's done.
With the officer's return, Solo hands her ID over and begins arguing.
Oh, here we go.
Here you go, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, I just was gonna take a nap.
Okay. Where are you coming from?
It doesn't matter where I'm coming from, but
See, he is asking her where she's coming from. What the officer is trying to do here, and I'm not a cop, I'm not a law enforcement expert, but my guess is that the officer is trying to establish that she was indeed driving while impaired. Where are you coming from? Right? Where are you coming from? In other words, where have you driven from? But even still, she could just say, hey, I drank all my alcohol in the car and I want to take a nap.
the car has not been.
No, but it's been on.
No, it has not been on.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't, sir.
Ma'am, you
Ooh.
turned the car off right in front of me. The car was not off when
I'm
I
sorry,
came.
it was not.
The second officer takes over,
Dude, she's arguing everything. Oh, boy.
while the initial officer leaves to run Solo's license.
Joey says she has some nerve. Again, this is white women in America, guys. White women in America have no respect for authority, least of all police officers.
All while the soccer star continues looking through her phone.
I was just taking a nap.
We're not. I can do
Take my
this.
phone.
Step on out of the vehicle, or I will make you step out of the vehicle. I'm asking you nicely, so you don't cause a scene in front of your
I can't
kids.
take my phone.
Yes, I can. I can do all these things. Okay? Step on out of the vehicle.
He says, I can do all things through Christ which strengthen me, Miss Solo. Get your ass out the car.
Can I have my phone?
In the name of Jesus, I'm about to whoop your ass.
Step on out of the vehicle for me. Step on out, or I'm pulling you out.
Uh-oh.
Again, you have 2 kids in this car. You have 2 kids in this car. Don't embarrass you in front of your kids.
I'm not embarrassed.
Step out of the car.
Can you tell me why you're...
Step
Oh,
out of the car.
boy. Here we
So
go.
make sure you are sober. and
Here
able
we
to be
go.
A competent adult in front of these kids.
I am a competent adult.
Okay, then step out of the
Can you
car.
tell me why...
Because you smell like alcohol.
Boom.
And you're passed
I'm not
out in the
driving.
car
I
with
took
the
a nap.
car on. So
took a
step
nap.
out of the vehicle.
Oh, boy.
I'm not asking you again.
Oh,
I
boy.
would like to call my attorney.
Nope, that's it.
Car.
Oh, now all of a sudden she
Officer
wants to
asks
call her
Solo
attorney.
to take field sobriety tests, but she refuses.
I would like to call my attorney.
If they run a sobriety, if she refuses a sobriety test, she gets arrested.
You are not calling your attorney anyone right now. Right now, the 2 things
Oh, here we go. You guys see the tattoo on her chest? Yep, there's another red flag.
you're going to do is you're going to stand here. Do you consent to providing field sobriety
You took my
tests?
phone,
Yes, I did.
Because you're not complying to law enforcement right now.
but I am compliant.
No, you're not.
No, you're
I
not.
have 2 kids in the car.
Yes, and you've made them
I
cry.
took a nap.
You've made them cry now because you
I'm
wouldn't
not
comply.
driving.
You were,
I
the
took
car
a...
was on.
The car was not on, sir.
Dude, these officers, I'm going to tell you what. Just Joe, wait, hold on. Hubert Kolakowski says, good job, dude. Finally, someone doing the job. Yeah, there appears to be a difference between like Wisconsin cops and North Carolina cops, at least from the onset, right? At least from the offset, from the onset. If she were in Wisconsin, she would still be in her car running off at the mouth. But these North Carolina cops, they're not fucking around. They're like, yo, turn your car off. Why do you want me to turn the car off? Why do you want me to step out of the... Because I think you're drunk. Why do you think I'm drunk? Because I smell alcohol. Can I call my attorney? No. Step out of the vehicle. Like, they're not fucking around here.
The officers got a search warrant for a blood draw and took her to an EMS station to gather 2 vials of blood.
Whoa!
Then I'm taking you to jail.
Okay.
And you won't get
Hang
the
on,
phone.
sir.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
He's like, nope, nope, nope,
Put your
nope.
hands behind your back. Now. You are now under arrest for resist, delay, obstruct of an
Because we're
officer.
trying to investigate something and you're not being cooperative right now.
Coming up,
I don't need you to touch me.
Oh boy, the garage. This is where the magic happens.
I can walk by myself.
Wanna make sure that
Oh my God, you don't need to touch me.
Police charge Hope Solo with DUI, child abuse, and resisting arrest. As she begins her legal battle to avoid jail, her high-profile criminal lawyers team up with Winston-Salem police to keep this video from the public. What is the relationship of Miss Solo's criminal attorneys to your offices?
Lorenzo Rock said, did the cop give her a yellow card? No, he gave her a red card, actually.
When our Hope Lost report continues after the break.
I don't need you to touch
here we
me.
go. Here we go.
I can walk by myself.
make sure that
Oh my God, you don't need to touch me.
Alright, that's fine.
All right, that's cool. Because I will have a complaint that you touched me inappropriately.
Oh,
Not
see, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Nothing screams guilt like I'm going to report that you touched me. This is, guys, this is the result of the M2 movement and the hyper and just the war on men. Even when, and again, these officers are there. Oh, that is Winston-Salem in the back, in the background. Even when these officers, and I think Winston-Salem might be in Forsyth County, I'm not 100% sure. But but these officers are here to protect and serve. And I know a lot of people don't think that, and for good reason, but Hope Solo, again, white women in America live the best lives of any class of human on the planet in the history of the planet Earth. Hope Solo is exactly who police officers are really there to protect. Cops ain't trying to protect black men like they do white girls. They're just not. They're not even trying to protect men like they do white girls. Sometimes they protect black women depending upon how they act, but what this comes down to is that the women that they protect the most are the worst behaved. This is why. Every single time a cop puts his hands on a woman, I'm gonna sue you because you touched me inappropriately. Bitch, I had to bring you out of the car.
A Winston-Salem police officer walked Hope Solo out of an EMS station after medics took blood samples. The test showed Solo's blood alcohol concentration at 0.24.
That is more than 3 times the legal limit. Wow.
3 times the legal limit.
Hey.
She also tested positive for Delta-9 THC, the active ingredient in marijuana.
Oh! She was drunk and high.
Ask me nicely.
I'll get in the car if you ask me nicely. The cop, I mean, come on.
We've done this game.
I will get in the car. You don't need to touch me.
Okay, step back so I can put
Just Joe says, how the fuck Don only has 158K. WTF. I go through these ebbs and flows, guys. Sometimes I'll get a shit ton of subscribers, other times I don't. It is what it is. This is just this is my crux.
Don't.
Garrett says she'll be out in 3 days. Nope, she'll be out in 3 hours.
You're loving this, aren't you?
No, I hate it.
No, you love it. You love every moment of it.
She's then taken from the EMS station to the Forsyth County Detention Center, while Solo continues swearing at the officer.
Of course. Of course.
Parking lot with it. These officers that they don't know. And you think you're doing good? Nah, man.
She's driving around Winston-Salem high and drunk with kids in the car, man.
You didn't do good. Not tonight.
Uh-oh. Are we going to the garage?
Very often.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Parking lot.
Leave my fucking children in a fucking parking lot. You know it's not cool. There's not. No, sweetheart. No. See, because now she's trying to say, oh, you left my kids in the parking lot. That's not cool. Sweetheart, you made that decision. You made that decision when you decided to get behind the wheel drunk and high. Hope Solo, look, hold on. Let me just look this up here quickly. Maybe she's broke. I don't know. Hope Solo net worth. Hope Solo has a net worth of around $3 million. Why not just hire a nanny? Or call an Uber or a cab or come on. Guys, listen, man, in this day and age, there is absolutely no reason to drive drunk. An Uber will cost you, dude, Ubers will cost you $12 from to get to point A to point B. Yes, I know it varies from city to city, but is it really worth it? To get a DUI and you got your kids in the car? Come on, man.
Sorry, no, that's not cool.
Meanwhile,
Oh, boy.
police stayed behind with Solo's children and waited for her husband to come pick them up.
Oh, so she is married. Is it Jeremy
Remember
Stevens?
the phone the officer snatched in the parking lot?
Okay.
It is Jeremy Stevens. So her husband is Jeremy Stevens. I thought that they were divorced for some reason.
Well, Hope Solo was sitting in the back of the police car, making calls on it during her ride to jail.
Okay, Miss Hope. Please lean back for me so I can take your seatbelt off.
I asked this guy not to touch me.
King Life says only $3 million. Guys, I mean, relative to the average professional athlete, male or female, $3 million is not that much money. But dude, I would love to have a net worth of $3 million. I would love to have that. Now, if I keep going the way I'm going, I'll probably be there in another 2 or 3 years. But dude, $3 million is a lot of money. $3 million is a lot of money. There is no excuse for this. Stephen Heath says overrated female soccer player. No, actually, she's not. Actually, she's not. Hope Solo? I don't know. Listen, and I know we probably don't pay too much attention to U.S. women's national soccer team. I paid attention to the U.S. women's national soccer team back when they had Julie Foudy, Brandi Chastain, Hope Solo, Brianna Scurry, the squad that won the World Cup back in '99. I don't follow it now with Megan Rapinoe and Alex Morgan because they're all just SWJ. All they do is talk shit about Trump and about how they're not paid as much as male soccer players. But I don't think it's a stretch to say that Hope Solo is the greatest goalie in U.S. women's soccer team history. U.S. national women's soccer team history. She's the best. She's the best I ever saw. She's the best I ever saw. So, I mean, you know, she's certainly not overrated, but she's certainly over the legal limit. Yeah, she was a great goalie, dude. Like, dude, Hope Solo was a brick fucking wall, man. She really, really was.
My charger is in there.
Okay,
If you don't
take
mind.
one step forward. You have your charger. It's in your hand.
Oh, it is. Okay. Sorry, Mom. It's really hard when you're handcuffed. You know what going on now.
Solo stayed on the phone all the way from the squad car into the jail, and even while she waited to be processed.
I put myself in this position now. I did this. Like, yeah.
The reason why she's on the phone is because she's trying to maintain a little bit of that freedom in the outside world. It's weird how this works, right?
But these police officers are a bunch of everything you thought they would be.
Dude, honestly, man, what people have to understand is that cops are people too. Okay? Cops are people too. And Just Joe says she's a brick drunk. Touche. Cops are people too, guys. If you treat cops with respect, they'll treat you with respect. Even if you might be guilty of a violent crime, as long as you're cool with the cops, it's all good, man. Dude, I remember one time. Oh my God. I'm not going to tell the whole story because I don't want to derail it, but I beat the shit out of this one dude. Pardon me. I beat the shit out of this guy. I got arrested for it, whatever. And on the way to lock up downtown, the fucking officer says, "Man, like you messed that guy up pretty good." And I thought he was trying to get like some stuff out of me, but he didn't. He was actually pretty cool. And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "How do you not have a scratch on you?" I said, "I was just really angry." He says, "Really? Why do you get angry?" And I just told him, I said, "Dude, I'll be honest with you. I got a temper problem, man, and you know, I got to do something about it." And the cop was like, "Yeah, man." He's like, you don't seem like a bad guy. You know, he's like, "I'm looking at your record, but you don't strike me as like the criminal type." And I was like, "Well, you know, you can't always judge a book by its cover," trying to, you know, playfully self-deprecation. So when we got out of the cop car, he actually took my handcuffs off me and allowed me to smoke a cigarette so we get into the garage, right? And what happens is when you drive in, the garage door goes down. So we go into the garage before they book you. And the guy was like, "Hey man," he's like, if you want to smoke a cigarette," he's like, "This is a pretty serious charge. So if you want to smoke a cigarette before we go in, man," he's like, I don't think you're going to go anywhere." So dude, he left the garage door open. He took the handcuffs off me. I'm out of the handcuffs. I smoke a cigarette. He puts me back in the handcuffs and he brings me in. And then the officer told the magistrate judge, He's like, yeah, you know what? The guy was complained. He did everything we asked, blah, 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 blah. And my bond was only $100,000. And I know that sounds like a lot of money, but that was my second or third arrest for, you know, a felony assault. My bond should have been $500,000, but because the cop, and I'm not saying that to glorify anything like that. Like, getting arrested never doesn't suck. The point is if you treat cops with respect, they will. It doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't happen all the time. But if you're not an asshole, the cop will go to bat for you. That cop saved me $40,000. I was able to get out of jail for $10,000. If my bond was $500,000, it would have cost me $50,000. All because I treated the cop like a human being. And I was standoffish because I thought he was trying to get me to talk to incriminate myself. But when it became clear that he wasn't, yeah, we actually had a pretty good conversation. You know, and before he arrested me, he's like, look, man, he's like, I know that I don't know you and you don't know me, but you seem like a good dude. He's like, you really need to get this temper thing under control. He's like, I don't want to see you back here again. I was like, I hope not either. And that was that. But Hope Solo is sitting here cussing out cops and I'm going to sue you and this and that and the other. What do you think they're going to cut you a break after that? Come on, man.
But the young, unintelligent.
None of the video recordings.
King Life says you must have did an elbow drop on the guy's face for it to have been $100K. Dude, oh my God. So I fractured two of his ribs. I broke his nose. Now I'm getting it mixed up. There was one guy I hit. I broke his nose. I deviated his septum and broke his orbital bone and gave him a concussion. But this particular arrest, I didn't give him a concussion. Like, there was no concussion. So I can't. Anyway, it was all a fucking blur. But yeah, it was $100,000. But you know, for a violent, like when you get arrested for a violent felony, they look at your record. And the more times you've been arrested, the more times you've been charged. The more times you've been charged, the higher your bond is. I knew my bond was going to be $500,000 because it was $250,000 the last time. So this was the third time now that I'm thinking about it. The first time, aggravated assault, felony. I don't know what class it is, but it's pretty serious. $100,000. The second time I got arrested, it was $250,000. I remember Paul telling me, I remember Paul Powell, my lawyer, look him up, and he's all big time now. He says, look, if you get in another fight, you're not getting out for $250,000. Like, it's gonna be $500,000 bond. So that's what I expected. But because I was cool with the cop, and I didn't ask him to do me any favors, right? I didn't ask him to do me any favors, but dude, whatever he said to that magistrate judge says, all right, Mr. Hopkins, your bond is $100,000. Are you going to get out tonight? I said, yes. Now, if my bond was $500,000, I was still getting the fuck up out of there. But it was nice to hold on to that 40 large, man. Real shit.
We were provided show the officers had any idea who they'd arrested.
Oh.
Amelia Stevens is a World Cup champion and two-time Olympic gold medalist.
Hope Solo Stevens. So yeah, she is married to Jeremy Stevens.
Amelia Stevens is a World Cup had any idea who they'd arrested. Hope Amelia Stevens is a World Cup champion and two-time Olympic gold medalist and has amassed a social media following topping 4 million. The officers had no idea until they got to the jail.
They're like, that's Hope Solo. Yeah, people at the jail, they recognize, like, oh shit, Hope Solo? Damn. Damn, look at this, dude. They had no idea who she was. Jeremy Stevens actually, Jeremy Stevens, as far as I know, played for the Seahawks, but it looks like he did play for the Seahawks and the Buccaneers. Oh, they got married in Snohomish. I've been to Snohomish, Washington, actually. How about that?
The last thing I want to be is famous.
Nate Liebold says Hope Solo is hot. Yeah, she is. She's a good-looking lady.
We didn't know.
They didn't know. Hold on. I'm just going to skip this.
Wait and try. Officers eventually booked Solo, measured her height, weight, and tried to document her tattoos. A few minutes later, the officer walks Solo back into the booking room, where she poses for mugshots and is fingerprinted.
I'm so sorry.
You see how she knows the drill?
You had nothing else to do tonight, so I hope I was very entertaining for you, because I know I was. I know that I
Blessed you with my presence. This bitch is getting arrested, and she still thinks. Unbelievable, dude. You can't make this shit up, man.
Hope your kids take care.
My kids are amazing.
Hope they're under good care with your husband.
They have the best mother and the best husband,
Good.
the best father in the world.
Yeah, I beg to differ.
Good.
Don't even.
Hope Solo has been she has been arrested for domestic violence. Like she gets into fistfights with Jeremy Stevens. Dude, like the bitch is crazy.
Insinuate that I'm not an amazing mother, you piece of Jesus. You don't know what I do every day. What do you do?
Alright, relax your
What the
Relax your hand so she can fingerprint you.
Dude, this is so funny. Yeah, Joey says the hubris is sickening. She's sitting here disrespecting a cop. Like she's calling him up, you motherfucker, and da-da-da-da-da. What do you do all day? He protects motherfuckers like you from bitches like you. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, dude. Only white girls, gentlemen. Only white girls. Master Cole says.
Oh my God.
Oop, wait, wrong one.
What, the French toast?
Oh my God. Like she's sitting here cursing out the cop while she's getting booked.
insinuate I'm a bad mother? You.
Oh my
That's
God.
not you do. I have not once said that, but if you insinuate that, I will say you. I'm an amazing mother, and I'm there every day. Every day.
Yeah, amazing mothers don't drive drunk and high with their kids in the car. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah. Go ahead and talk.
Listen to her laughing.
You only want to put my children, because I have twins, by the way, children, in danger was your police officers crawling in my car without a search warrant. Oh, I saw that. Crawling in a car.
This bitch has got some fucking nerve, dude. Dev C says, I feel bad for the kids because both their parents are train wrecks. You wait. You wait until the Solo Stevens kids, they're going to be in the news.
No search warrant.
Miguel LeQuinn says, where's Mike Tyson when you need him? I didn't break him out because Solo is still in the handcuffs.
And your police officers are crawling in my car, letting my kids cry. Why? Because I pulled over to take a nap? That's cool.
All of this shit is tell to the judge, bitch.
Way to get a mom. You got her. You got a mom. Good job.
Be still.
Good job, buddy. You're doing some good work in the world.
Yeah, he is. You were drunk and high with your kids in the car. What the fuck?
Cuffs back on.
Ah, he said, all right, comes back on, bitch.
And you won't get your phone. Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
As for the video, under North Carolina law, we had to sue the Winston-Salem Police Department and the Forsyth County District Attorney
Ah, it is Forsyth County.
to see it. It
What?
took 7 trips to the courthouse in Winston-Salem. Each time, Police Department Attorney Lori Sykes and Assistant District Attorney Penn Broyhill fought release of the police recordings.
Oh my God, why would they fight the release of the recordings? That's a little weird.
What's the reason for the rush?
We filed 3 other lawsuits this year to see dash camera videos of Congressman Madison Cawthorn's run-ins with state troopers.
Oh boy. All right, well, we don't care about Madison. We don't care about Madison Cawthorn. Ken H. Sr. says her accountability shield is still alive. Holy cannoli, holy fucking cannoli. Dude. And she sat there and continued to swear at him. It's just, dude, it is unbelievable. Pardon me. It is unbelievable how entitled these white girls are. Only white girls. Only white girls. White girls are the only class of human on the planet who treats law enforcement officers this poorly. who treats law enforcement officers this poorly. All right, so at the bottom of the hour, we will be. At the bottom of the hour, we will be. I will be joined by another guest. I have no idea. What guest I'm going to be joined by. It's going to be Tell Me Why I'm Wrong. The Tell Me Why I'm Wrong segments seem to be pretty good. Every once in a while, we'll get a good one. The one yesterday was actually quite surprising because the twist ending to that particular one was I absolutely positively did not expect her to have lived in Abu Dhabi. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Wait, what? And I remember I was going to ask her like right at the end, like, okay, wait a minute. Like where, like you said, you're from Texas, but where exactly do you live? Well, she answered that question straight away. She answered that question. I disappeared. Oops, sorry guys. Hang on. Sorry about that, guys. Hang on a second. There we go. Sorry about that. Nope, I'm good. My video goes out sometimes. I apologize for that. So what we're gonna do while we wait for what you call it, our other guest. Let's take a quick look. At when I pretty much called out Nina, when I called out Nina about being entitled. Here we go. It's very easy for someone of your skin tone to say, "Well, I don't see myself as a woman of any color, white, black, or whatever." This doesn't mean you're a bad person. All I'm simply saying is that you don't have the same concerns. You don't live in the same America as American.
But that's
black
because
women.
I was raised with a father and a mother at home. It has everything to do with it.
No.
Let her finish.
It truly has everything to do with it because
This was not the clip I wanted. Devin, I want you to find the part where Devin, I need you to find the part where I talk about first world problems. Like that's not. Hang on a second. Disrespect. Yeah.
So that's all I was trying to say. And I'm not saying that I have it easier, they have it harder. I don't compare myself. I'm who I am. I don't go to people I say, "Oh, I'm white." Or, "Oh, I'm black," or "I'm American," or, "Oh, I'm Albanian." No, because to me, I have better assets to identify with other than identifying with color. And that's what I think. And that's what I was referring to her about.
Yeah, this is actually where Tommy and I sort of butted heads on the podcast. This is where we butted heads on the podcast. Because Nina said as a woman of color, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Like you're complaining about first world problems. There we go. Right? It's very easy for a woman like Miss Albania, whatever her name is. It's very easy for her to say, "Well, I don't have to worry about and identify with race." What I was pointing out is that white women live in a different America. They just do. They have privileges and access that women of color, African American women don't have. Well, Tommy disagreed. And says, "Well, you shouldn't be using that as a blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't use that as an excuse." I was like, it's not an excuse. This is the truth. As you can see, that's Juicy sitting right there. Nina does not live in the same America as African American women. Nina has white girl privileges because she's hot. That's all there is to it. And that's when I let her know. She was complaining something about my links or something like that. I was like, "Nina, sweetie, these are first world problems. Boo. Like these are first world problems. Like what the things that you're complaining about, are insignificant. They absolutely are insignificant." All right, gentlemen, it is time for Tell Me Why I'm Wrong. Here we go. Oops, I always get that wrong. All right, and we are joined today by, now, how do you pronounce your first name? Is it Micheline or Micheline?
It's Micheline.
Oh, Micheline, and your last name is Monique.
No, it's my middle name.
Oh, okay, that's right. I think that's that's sort of the in thing for people for girls to do. They don't use their last name, the first and middle name. Well, listen. First off, Micheline, thank you for joining us. Before we get into the statements here, tell the people who you are, what you do, where they can find you.
My name is Micheline Monique. I have a podcast on Facebook and YouTube.
Okay.
Called The Silent Fight.
Oh, and what's that about? Silent Fight. That sounds like that sounds like a kind of a perverted Christmas song.
Well, I just wanted to create a platform so that we can talk about subjects that people are dealing with every day, that they feel that they're battling them by themselves.
Oh, okay.
I understand that if you're going through it 9 times out of 10, someone else has already experienced it.
Okay. So you're into, I guess, the mental health end of things?
Yes.
Oh, wow, very good. Wow, I tell you what, man, the guests this week have you guys have been super impressive. Okay, so the way this works, Micheline, is I'm going to make a provocative statement and you are going to tell me why I'm wrong. You ready?
Okay.
All right, here we go. Oh, I don't think she's ready, guys. I don't think she's ready. Lots of compliments in the chat. My audience seems to like you so far. All right, Micheline. Women cheat more than men. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Tell you why you're wrong?
Yes. Well, maybe you agree. Do you agree that women cheat more than men, or do you think it's the other way around?
I'm not really good on answering questions like that because I only speak from experience.
Okay.
So I don't know the statistics behind it. I've heard people say that. I hear men say that women cheat more. I hear women say that men cheat more. Okay,
that makes sense. Let me ask it to you this way, and maybe not to tell me why I'm wrong. Maybe we can almost come to maybe a consensus agreement here. Would you agree that sex is easier to come by for women than men?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Would you also agree that because sex is easier to come by for women than men, that it is easier for women to have opportunities to cheat?
Yes.
Okay. And so I guess by that logic, would it be reasonable to assume that if somebody has more cracks at something, more opportunities, chances are they'll probably be more successful at it? Does that make sense?
By that logic, yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, all right. Just wanted to make sure that we were on the same page. Okay, here is another statement here, Micheline. Women with high body counts are more likely to be sexually disloyal to their men than women with low body counts. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Women with higher body counts are more likely to be sexually disloyal to their man.
Yeah, in other words, if she's a hoe, she's more likely to cheat than if she's not.
If she's a hoe, yeah.
Oh wow! So we're 2 for 2. We agree. All right. Let me see if I can trip you up here. Statement number 3: conforming to traditional gender roles leads to more successful families.
I don't agree.
Tell me why I'm wrong.
I don't agree that, let me make sure I understand the question. Conforming to traditional gender roles will create more successful families.
That's correct. Like where the husband leads, the husband leads the wife. Okay.
I don't agree because there are instances where the woman can make more money and they may need to switch roles in order to have a successful family.
Okay. Would you agree that if the woman is the breadwinner and the man is the stay-at-home dad, would you agree that eventually that is going to be sexually unattractive to the wife?
I don't agree.
You don't agree. Okay. So let me ask it. Let me ask it to you this way. If somebody, let's just say, and you're obviously a woman who, you've got your shit together and you pay your own bills and everything. Let's say that you were, I don't know if you're married, but let's just pretend that you're married. Let's say you're married, you have 3 kids with your husband, you're a successful CEO, entrepreneur, whatever the case may be, and you come home and he says, hey, look, I know I take care of the kids and this and that and the other, but it would be nice if you cooked every once in a while. Would you actually cook, or would you say, well, wait a minute, I'm the breadwinner. I need you to handle all of the domestic duties while I handle all of the duties outside of the home.
I would cook.
Oh, wow. Good Lord, man. Okay. So far, so good. We're 3 for 3. Statement number 4. The more men a woman sleeps with, the harder it is for her to pair bond with one man. Tell me why I'm wrong.
The more men that a woman sleeps with, is harder for her to pair with one man.
Yes, that's correct. Tell me why I'm... Oh boy. I guess she didn't want to play the game. All right. Well. Wow. My guess is that she probably My guess is that she probably disagreed, but yeah, she probably disagreed. Like, she disappeared on me. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, she agreed, but then she didn't agree. Okay, moving right along. Let's get back into it. So this next video. Oh, wait a minute. So looks like Devin has found the URL with me talking about the first.
Let me bring this.
And
Let me.
16. There we go. I'll play that before we get to the fresh and fit video. So the next video we are going to break down here. Pardon me. This is a female police officer. This is a female police officer who gets pulled over by a cop. Now, the title of this says, "Officer thinks she is above the law. Hashtag blue line thugs." Oh boy. Let's take a look.
Ma'am, okay, so listen.
Listen. I'm a Trenton cop. I want to go home.
Okay, and you're not going anywhere just yet.
Why?
Because I already explained to you, we had somebody flag us down and say
well,
that
this
you
is
were
the wrong
assaulted.
Car.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm not assaulted.
Okay.
Can you see I'm not assaulted?
When I asked you your name, man, like, you know how these things go. I asked you simply.
I know. You
so why are
don't need
yelling
to
at
know
me?
my name.
Whoa!
I just want.
If this woman is a cop, why is she telling him that you don't need to know the name?
Why are you
Go
yelling
the
at
fuck
me?
home.
Okay, well, why are you
Because
yelling
I
at me?
want to go.
I'm trying to help you, but
Oh, looks like this is in Trenton, New Jersey. Okay.
Cop,
I
I want to
understand
leave.
that.
So let me leave
Ma'am.
with my boyfriend.
Oh no, that ain't happening.
Just hear me out
Okay,
for a minute.
okay.
I understand you're a cop. I get it. We
What
all
more
know
do
how
you
these.
want? What more do you
If-
want?
I just
Names,
need your
what?
name, and I would have
Tara?
documented the incident, and then we would have
Okay,
sent you on your
so
way. But you,
what more do you
you
need?
like ran off on me.
Because I don't want nothing to do with you.
Oh.
Or cops in Trenton.
Yeah, Vast Ice Gaming says must be a state cop. Yeah, I think this is a state trooper versus a city cop.
In Hamilton. I'm sorry. I'll write it down for you.
I'll write it.
Oh!
TARA.
Alex says you don't by law have to identify. Oh, Alex. You have to provide ID, okay? You do by law have to identify yourself, guys. You do have to identify yourself. When a cop is dealing with you, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Somebody look that up, but that doesn't make sense to me. If a police officer confronts you and he asks you for your name, you have to provide him with some sort of identification so he knows who and what he's dealing with. I don't know you don't by law have to identify. That doesn't make any sense to me. Somebody look that up for me. I could be wrong, but if you don't by law have to identify, then that would defeat the purpose of a traffic stop. Am I wrong? Let me know.
DZ, you are
Tara,
you are
KOC, 4/21/1977.
Oh, wow. 4/21/1977. So this woman is my age. She is 45 years old. She looks like she's closer to 55.
What's your phone number, Tara?
I guess they don't want everybody to know.
You're asking me if I'm assaulted. I'm telling you I'm not.
Okay. And
I'm
then,
not.
But when I simply asked you earlier.
Boy, she's acting erratic. You guys are thinking that she's drunk.
You were so irate.
Listen,
and
you know why I'm irate? Because
Why?
I'm being pulled over from you people.
You
I'm a cop,
people?
And I don't want to be pulled over from a fucking cop.
All right. Can you stay over here or no?
I'm not even driving.
Okay. Well, you're still not listening to me.
What the hell? This is whack. Oh, there's a bike trail. Check that out.
Let me, Hey, Sarge. I'm live.
Oh, Health as Wealth says you do not, but you basically do. I don't understand. I don't know. I can't imagine that you have to, let's see, Devin sent something here. Says, in New Jersey, the law requires people to stop and provide their identification to law enforcement officials when asked. However, this requirement only applies to instances where the police are conducting an investigation or issuing a summons. The police can ask you to stop and identify yourself if they have a reasonable suspicion that you have committed a crime. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Just by the way.
Health as Well says white women age like milk. Yeah, they age like milk if they're not on HGH.
So we were coming out of Granville, and a bystander came running up to us. She flagged us down, and she goes, "Hey, I just saw somebody in a black truck beating up a girl." Okay. He just yanked her out of the car, started beating her up, and threw her back in the car. And this truck passes us coming up Whitehorse. Okay. So she goes, "That's it. That's it." Okay. So we jump out, turn our lights on. They start boogieing down Whitehorse Hamilton, and we light it up to get out in front of the traffic. Yeah. He turns on Klockner, like doesn't even try to yield, and we had to like catch up to him.
Oh.
I was doing 60 miles an hour.
Oh.
We went up stopping him. Went up asking her to get her out of the car.
Yeah. So they do have to identify. They do have to identify. Alex has right to remain silent. Alex, I think we're talking about two different things here. If the cops, you do have the right to remain silent. In other words, you have the right to shut the fuck up. But you do have to provide some sort of identification. The cops have to know what they're dealing with.
Yeah. Try to get their stories. She starts flipping out. She goes, "Yeah, I'm a fucking Trenton cop, and you guys don't need to be fucking stopping us." This, that, and the third. And I was like, "All right, well."
This, that, and the third. Yep. This is definitely New Jersey.
We're just investigating.
New Jersey, Pennsylvania, this, that, and the third. I don't think I've ever heard a white guy say this, that, and the third, but clearly this is New Jersey.
Something simply.
Yeah, you have the right to remain silent, but you are required by law to identify yourself. Now, if he just walked up, again, cops are not going to ask you to identify yourself if they don't suspect you of a possible crime. They have no reason to. So when a cop asks you to identify yourself, you got to fucking identify yourself. Now, here's the thing. Alex is right. You don't have to identify yourself. But if you don't, your ass goes to jail.
That there was an allegation that you were assaulted.
Yeah, Frank Willett says she was speeding, so she has to present ID. Exactly. They basically ran from the cops.
Okay. And who is she? Tara Dikovic? I don't know. Okay. She had 3 years left. I don't need none of this shit. And I was like, all right, well, just let me get your information, your side of the story, and then we'll be on our way.
Uh-oh.
And she like,
oh boy,
flipped out on me, and then she like walked away from me.
All right. Let me talk to her.
So what do you want? Okay. Nothing. I just want their side of the story, and then if she wasn't so...
Who's the guy?
It's Matt Sickler. He's a sheriff's officer.
He's a sheriff's officer?
Yeah.
Ooh. The plot thickens. So they're both cops. They're both cops. So Tara is, I guess, a city cop, and the guy driving is a sheriff's officer.
Where's the calling party?
She's over on Granville. I mean, she was turning on the Granville. I didn't stop.
Shade says, I love water. Yeah, that's one thing I don't say is water. I say water.
Stop to get her name because she pointed the car out. So I was like, all right, let me just try to grab her real quick.
Okay.
Stop.
Dude, you can still hear her.
I mean, we don't have the calling party, but I mean,
no, that's all right.
She identified the vehicle right to the T.
We talked to him still, yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna pull him
right to the T.
I mean, I'm pretty familiar with him.
Oh, you know him?
Yeah. Pretty.
Tara, what's her name?
Straw Diggler says if you're on foot, you don't need ID. Okay, if they pull you over in a car, it's a traffic stop, you must ID. Okay, well that makes sense. I guess maybe that's what Alex was referring to. Okay. This is a wacky situation, dude, because we're dealing with two people who are also police officers.
Hey, Tara. Don't
Me? I just got here.
Not you.
Okay.
I'm fucking
I know you. How you doing?
fucking
I got it.
done with this bullshit.
All right, let me talk to you out here.
Whoa.
I'm gonna let you go. All right, both of you. All right.
Like, I'm fucking
All right. Okay.
done.
Did he say they're gonna let him go? Hang on a second. Hold up.
No, you don't. Me? I just got here.
Not you.
Okay.
I'm fucking
I know you. How you doing?
fucking
I got it.
done with this bullshit.
All right, let me talk to you out here. All right, and I'm gonna let you go. All right, both of you. All right.
Like, I'm fucking
All right.
Okay.
done.
He just said I'm gonna let you go. He just said I'm gonna let you go. Okay, so shut the fuck up and listen.
All right. Relax.
No, you have no idea.
Yeah, I need you to.
I didn't do a goddamn thing wrong, and they're assaulting me. Like, they're talking to me like a piece of fucking shit here.
I hope.
What?
Oh, they were. They were.
But listen, you're kind of up here right now.
I am.
Come down.
Alex says, as of February of 2011, there is no U.S. federal law requiring that an individual identify themselves during a Terry stop. Listen to that advice, chat, if you will. If a police officer asks you for your identification and you don't provide it to them, you're going to fucking jail. That's all there is to it. You don't, guys. What you have to understand, what Alex is doing here, is you're implying that you don't have to identify yourself, right? But what you're not saying is that if you have a right not to identify yourself, I suppose, but if you don't, there are consequences. If a cop asks you what your name is, if he asks you for your ID and you don't give them your ID, you go to jail. That's all there is to it.
Because of what I dealt with.
Okay, listen. So here's
I told them
you've been on the jump for a long time.
he did nothing wrong to me.
Listen to me.
They got a call.
They didn't get a call.
She's gonna talk herself into. All right, somebody. Okay, got it, Alex. Okay, Alex, you win. I'm not going back and forth with you. If you get pulled over on a Terry stop or traffic stop and the officer asks you for your ID, I expect you to say no. So there you go. You win. You got it. Fine. I'm not gonna argue with you. I've been arrested, dude. I've probably been arrested more times than anyone you know put together. So what do I know?
They got flagged down and said that you were getting assaulted. Just.
Look at me.
Listen to me, Tara. Listen to me.
Look at me.
Do you understand where the officers are coming from? You
and
are
I
a
sat
veteran
there.
officer.
I have 3 years left.
I know.
3 fucking years.
I know.
And I told them.
Down, I'm sure.
And I fucking told them.
Dude, this bitch is lit.
He'd be fucking under the bridge, not me.
I know that.
Not
I've seen
fucking
you.
me.
I've seen you.
Oh
He's a
boy.
cop too.
I know. All right. But then it doesn't help that he speeds away either, right?
No, he stopped.
But it took him a while. All right. So that doesn't help. So now my officers, they don't know
see this? Now he's reasoning with her.
flying, like, not you.
Not me.
Not you.
Like, I'm the victim.
Your boyfriend, I'm sorry.
They're fucking an asshole.
You're the victim? You're not.
I'm so called the victim.
But you're not the victim, right?
No.
Okay.
I'm
so,
freaking.
Listen to me, Tara.
Fine.
Listen to me. I'm trying. And yeah. Okay, calm down. Right. I know you. I've backed you up before on jobs. I've done the.
So he knows who she is. Wow.
Okay, I'm an ACU guy. Like, I know you. But you got look at.
Yo, this is crazy. I can't believe this.
Your boyfriend takes off and doesn't stop. Now we're thinking we're in a car pursuit, all right? There's not.
Wow.
I'm here to calm everybody down.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get you out of here. But you got to understand where these officers are coming from, all right?
Well,
they think you're getting beat up. You told them no. But stop.
No.
Please stop.
Do you guys think that he was assaulting her? It's possible that he was.
Stop.
Maybe she's trying to protect him.
Stop. No, stop. The guy with the glasses, fuck him.
Okay, come here.
Whoa.
I know on camera.
I know, and I have to be.
Shit anymore.
I know, and this is not going anywhere. All right, you did nothing wrong, but the officers.
Well, he needs to learn how to talk to someone.
He's trying to get to the bottom of it. All right. Now look
and
at
I told him. No,
it sounds like this dude is on her side. I think this dude is like, hey, we're gonna let you go. We just need to get to the bottom of this. Blah 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 blah. I think the officer back in the car. I think he is. How can I put this? I think he might be trying to protect this woman, right?
So the victim, right? I'm the victim.
But you understand,
I told him
Tara.
Nothing happened.
Okay, but you understand how victims tell us that? I know.
There it is. Wow, he just nailed it. He's telling her, look, I understand that's what you're saying. But victims often say, hey, they try to protect their abuser. Like this happens.
With you can take care of yourself.
Nothing happened.
I've witnessed it. But
nothing happened.
He doesn't know you, all right? People tell us nothing happened, right? I know. You say nothing happened, right?
Diecaster says, but she doesn't want to be a snitch. Ooh. That's right. He's a cop. The other guy, so her boyfriend is a cop. And if they think, oh, wow, so this is really complicated. She's trying to protect not only him, she's probably trying to protect his career.
Nothing.
But he doesn't know you. He doesn't know you, right? So then I know you, right? He's still trying to figure. He's out to look. He's out looking for you.
That kid.
I know. All right.
She's like, I don't want to see that kid.
That's all I need to say.
All right.
Frank Woola said she's protecting the dude who whooped her ass. This is what happens. This is what happens, guys. This is what happens.
Are you okay?
You
know what?
I am.
You keep looking down. No.
Fine.
I'm not even talking physically. I'm saying, are you okay? Calm now with these officers. Look at it from their point of view. All right, that's all I'm saying.
What?
I know. Go
You
ahead.
know where
Give it to me. Give it to me. Yes.
You know where
I know.
work. So
I
look
do.
at it from my point of view. This is way extra.
This is bad.
Way freaking extra.
My car's extra because I'm the supervisor,
Well,
and they
this
called
is-
me.
Alex says, is that not tampering with evidence? That's a good question, man, because, ooh, this is complicated. Okay, so what we're dealing with here, we're dealing with two officers, the assailing officers. We're dealing with two officers. One cop knows the woman, the other one doesn't know either one of them. The other two officers, the ones that were in the quote-unquote getaway car, she's trying to protect him and the career. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And
this
also,
is
they also
way
thought,
extra.
they also thought that the guy was running. The guy was taking off in the car.
He's running?
He didn't stop, and he sped away.
He didn't stop. That's right.
No, he didn't.
Well, that's what I was told.
But he really.
NKA the accuser says, I think they both cheating. They might be cheating. They might be cheating. Because that's how a lot of cheaters get caught, is with traffic stops or car accidents, right?
Yeah, well, they tried to pull him over down by the light, right? And he didn't stop.
No, that's not.
Okay.
Devin says the other cop knows the driver. Wow. Oh no. Heads Up Fiction said, to be fair, she is shaped like a punching bag. No, she's shaped like a potato sack.
True. It's not even true.
I'm gonna come talk to you in a second. Can I go talk to him?
Go ahead.
Yeah, you can. How you doing, sir?
Uh-oh.
Listen, I know you're shaking your head.
Like,
Listen,
it's not even true.
But listen,
Straw Diggler says, why are they talking to this white woman? The driver's the one they need to be talking to. Man, this is weird.
Sheriff, right? Listen, I'm out here. Listen, I'm out here to calm everybody down. I know Tara, right? I work with her in the city. They listen. These are good guys.
Said they sped away. You sped away.
They need to get her out of there. That's what that is.
I'm here to talk to Tara. I know her. Nothing happened, right?
He's right. He's saying, I'm here to get you off. See, here's what's happening. This cop is a veteran. The other one's a rookie. The other one wants to do it by the book. He says, somebody says they were beating. They identified the car. I tried to accost them. They sped away. I pulled them over, and now we must follow police procedure. The veteran is like, hey, look. We know nothing's happened. We're going to try to fix this. But the fucking rookie cop is back there running numbers and trying to get and trying to advance this thing.
We had somebody. You're a sheriff. You understand?
Master Cole says they were banging in the car and someone thought he was beating her up. No, they said that he put hands on her and then threw her into the car.
Somebody flagged him down and said that Tara.
Johnny Green says, could this be corruption? I don't know, man.
And whatever, maybe you guys were in an argument. That doesn't matter. It's none of my business. It's none of my business.
Uh-oh. Do you hear so now the veteran cop is suggesting, hey, if you guys are in an argument, it's all good. And it happens. I was yelling at Devin one night. Our neighbors called the cops. That's what happened. It is what it is.
If you're in an argument or whatever, and things, whatever, she's saying nothing happened. I'm okay with it. All right? But the fact is, I'm not saying you didn't stop right away.
Mike Hawk says the vet doesn't want to do that paperwork.
It's all on camera, right? You kind of should have pulled right over. Next time, pull right over. All right? Now
Mike, hold up. Let me think. Hold on. Marvin Segovia says maybe they had rough sex. Jesus Christ, y'all. Come on, man.
Okay. What's your first name? Sorry, I'm sorry. Matt. Okay, Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, this is corrupt. I think you guys might be right. This might be corruption, dude.
Okay. The one that she you hate. The one that you know him, right? You're friends with him, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because I would never do anything different. All right. Okay. I was in an economy. That's how I know Tara. So I'm also I used to be very proactive. Right. I get it. So
this is just utter bullshit.
Trenton Cop. Oh, here we are. So Trenton Cop, Tara Zurach already. Tara Cop Zurach. Okay. So it says Ramirez pulled out her phone and started filming. I don't know who Ramirez is, which apparently angered officers, at least one who was heard on video footage obtained by the Trentonian, demanding that Ramirez turn over the phone. The 4 foot 11-inch Ramirez, photographed by her immigration attorney, with a blue and battered face and front teeth missing, was charged with aggravated assault on law enforcement resisting and obstructing justice. What? Trenton Cop Tara Zurach already being investigated by FBI, arrested with cop boyfriend in Bordentown. What the hell? Yo, this is crazy. Holy moly.
Okay.
Somebody called? Good? You talked to her?
Yep.
You good, sir?
Yes.
Wow.
Let me talk to my officer. I'm going to set Tara back in the car. Do you have your ID? Did they take anything?
Dude, they're putting all her shit out there. This is unbelievable.
Completely fine.
Oh, this is not good.
This is just like embarrassing.
Maybe this was like another.
All right, you guys, we're good. I'm gonna get them out, cut them loose. Yeah. Let me just talk to him real quick, all right?
That was a little bit weird, y'all. That was a little bit wacky, man. Like, that was just a little bit fishy, if you ask me. Huh. I think he was definitely beating her ass, though. I think that's exactly what it is. Master Cole says she belongs to the department. She belongs to the department. She belongs to the department. Alex says this is an example of the system turning on itself. Yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is. If I appear lower than normal, it's because my... Hang on a second. There we go. I got to lower my... Either that or I got to pan out. Okay, so this next video, and again, we are going to get to the... Wait, hold on. Let me get to the super chat here quickly. There was one, Roderick Thomas says, with a $5 super chat, says, may I get a birthday shout out, Sir Donovan? We aging like wine, 200K on the way, let's go. Not the effect. Dude, why does it take, there we go, Jesus. Guess my, Davius Davis, $20 super chat, says, Donovan, don't let the hate from other content creators stop your grind. Loving your live stream. Appreciate that very much for the $20 super chat. Yeah, I mean, you know, this is just, this is, yeah. What Devin says, yeah, what hate are you talking about? Everybody loves me. Everybody loves me. Listen, man, there's nothing special about me. Every YouTuber, every content creator has devoted haters. It is what it is. Sometimes sometimes content creators hate on other content creators. It is what the fuck it is. It is what the fuck it is. Devin says, blue trying to protect the black and blue. Ay. So this next video that we are going to break down, and shout out to TJ, who sent me this video. This is from the, so this video is from the Washington Post, and the video is entitled, Exploited for Decades, Female Bodybuilders Speak Out. This was a very very interesting video, to say the least. And the reason why it was interesting is because it's something that it highlights something I always talk about. It's something that I always like, that I always say. Women cannot stand it when men have a decided advantage on the sexual marketplace. Men are continuously exploited by women all the time. We're exploited. Dude, average women can exploit powerful men. Right? Average women can exploit powerful men. They do all the time. They exploit average men. They exploit above average men. They exploit men all the time. They exploit men all the time. But when the tables are turned, now all of a sudden, there's a problem with it. Now, I'm not saying that what these dudes did, I'm not saying what these dudes are doing is right if indeed this is true. If indeed this is true. However, what I am going to do is I am going to compare this as if we were talking about men. Again, I'm not saying that this is justified by any stretch of the imagination. Okay? But you got to understand, but remember, we have women who outwardly admit that they go out on dates with men they have no romantic interest in just to get fed. That's fraud. You're misleading men. You're misleading men into thinking that they might have a chance to have relations with you on some romantic level, but you really don't. You get 2-3 free meals out of them, and then you ghost them. That's exactly correct. So let's take a look at this, and here we go.
And of course, we'll see the exciting routines tonight on the final stage. On the center line, please.
It would be a wonderful thing if it was an honest sport where you could have the best physiques on stage winning.
By the way, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Copyright disclaimer under 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted. Fair use is permitted, pardon me, by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. I am commenting on this for criticism and commenting. And away we go.
Because they deserve to win. But
Wait.
It's not an honest sport.
What did she... Wait.
Where you could have the best physiques on stage winning because they deserve to win. But it's not an honest sport.
It's not an honest sport. Oh, so now we're gonna bitch. Now we're gonna bitch and moan about fairness. Women always listen. Women are always like, well, that's life, right? Or when a guy complains to a girl about, man, she was using me. Well, you should have known. That's life. Life isn't fair. But then when they're in that position, now all of a sudden we get videos like this.
It had nothing to do with how good you looked. It was all about what was happening behind the scenes.
Isn't that the case with a lot of industries? Right?
Bodybuilding is a sport that has long promoted itself as the pinnacle of health, fitness, and strength. Athletes are judged by their muscle mass, definition, and symmetry, on top of their ability to hold certain poses.
It's basically like a muscle beauty pageant. They're looking for a whole package.
I'm just not... Listen, I'm not into female bodybuilders, dude.
But a Washington Post investigation found that over the course of 2 decades, female athletes were sexually exploited by leaders within the most premier U.S. bodybuilding federations. Many
Here we go.
women felt that the competitions were rigged, and that the success of their careers hinged on taking nude photographs and catering to the mostly male judges, promoters, and managers.
Okay, so these women are complaining about a necessity of life. Not everything is going to be fair. Not everything is going to be fair, ladies. These women are alleging that they said, "Hey, man, you guys have to you guys have to take nudes to advance your position."
There were so many people that could have stopped what was happening.
Oh my God!
It was just like a circuit.
There were so many people that could have stopped what was happening. Just like there are so many people that can stop men from being exploited for their money. Like we don't dude, we don't make a big deal out of women who baby trap men, do we? We don't make a big deal out of women who finesse men out of meals, food, money, gifts, etc. But now all of a sudden we're going to make a big deal out of this?
The Post spoke with scores of women who competed in contests.
Scores of women? Did she just say woman? Come on, man.
Just like a circuit.
The Post spoke with scores of women who...
Why don't people use the word women? Why don't people use the plural form of women? I'll never understand that. I've never understood this.
Competed in contests run by the Manions, a family that oversees the sport's biggest empire in amateur and professional bodybuilding. They run both the Amateur National Physique Committee and the International Federation of Bodybuilding and Fitness Pro League. According to critics and acolytes alike, the Manions have left an indelible mark on the sport over the last several decades. J.M. Manion in particular looms large in the industry.
We basically had to court JM. It's like, when you go to this show, go and look for JM, make sure he...
Oh my God. This is why you should never be a bodybuilder, ladies. This is why you should never be a bodybuilder, because when it's all over, you end up looking like this.
He sees you and knows who you are.
J.M. Manion is the son of the league's president, Jim Manion, and the official photographer. He also runs a management company that has directed the careers of the sport's top female competitors and served as a gateway to endorsement deals, magazine covers, and other financially promising opportunities.
So they promise these women, if you do X, Y, Z, you are going to get A, B, C. Okay. It's quid pro quo. But here's the problem. Nobody put a gun to their head. Nobody's forcing these women to do these. Okay, so men are, and this is the thing. This is the overarching point here. Gentlemen. Women use their sexuality. Women leverage their sexuality to get resources. They do this all the time. Is it fair? I don't know. Look, is it fair? That's not for me to judge. Right? On one hand, we say men should know. On the other hand, it's like, hey, all's fair in love and war. Right? So when women use their sexuality to leverage resources, we don't have a problem with that. But when men use their resources, when men leverage their resources for sexuality, now it's a problem. I'm not saying that what these guys allegedly did is right or wrong, but this is exactly what women do to men every day.
But behind the scenes, JM was operating a vast network of paid websites that featured over 30,000 photographs of at least 200 female competitors.
Devin, stand down. Stand down. Real talk. Don't you start. Do not let the woman in you come out with all of this weirdo stuff. Don't do that, Devin.
Took photos ranging from bikini shots to graphic sexual nudes.
Oh boy.
There was no way he would have had that many beautiful...
Ugh. Dude. Ladies. This is why women shouldn't do steroids. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Women taking off their clothes in front of his camera.
Listen to this.
He took photos ranging from bikini shots to graphic sexual nudes.
There was no way he would have had that many beautiful women taking off their clothes in front of his camera or doing whatever else they were doing unless he was who he was in the business.
Hey, and guess what, sweetheart? That's the way it works. That's the way it works, man. That's exactly the way it works. There are a lot of women out here who have cars, paid off homes. Women have things that they wouldn't normally have if they weren't beautiful. So for this woman to sit here and say, well, there's no way he would ever have this many beautiful women posing nude is because of who he is. Well, yes. Of course, that's how it works. And there are a lot of women out here who have no business driving the cars they drive, living in the homes that they live in, because they're beautiful. Well, he wouldn't have had all these women posing nude if he wasn't who he was. No, he wouldn't. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like Malik Zulu Shabazz, who was talking about Fresh Prince CEO. He said if you didn't have he said if you didn't have any money, you wouldn't have girls. You know what Fresh said? Yeah, that's right. I wouldn't.
The Post reached out several times to JM for comment. He did not respond. The Post also reached out to Jim Mannion for comment. In an emailed statement, a representative for Jim Mannion responded that the MPC and IFBB Pro League are committed to providing a premium experience for our competitors, fans, event organizers, and partners. It goes on to say that
shout out to Busy Izzy 87. So shout out to the OG of the RP 305 in the house. Appreciate that.
The league has grown prize purses for female athletes and improved communications for our competitors to raise any concerns they may have with an event or their experience. And that all involved with our organizations are committed to supporting our competitors.
Okay.
The bodybuilding industry should be subject to very strict precautions for athletes because it is a subjective sport, because it is a judged sport.
Oh, listen to this. So she thinks there should be regulation for a subjective sport, a judged sport. That's exactly why it's subjective. What kind of regulations is she talking about?
When you have these aesthetic sports, they are much more prone to different kinds of abuse.
Yes, when you have aesthetic sports, they are prone to different kinds of abuse, but hang on a second. Let me look up the definition of abuse here just to make sure. Abuse. To bad effect, used to bad effect or for a bad purpose, misuse. The judge abused his power by imposing the fines. No one can abuse you if you do not let them. Lily Zero with the $2 super chat says their body, their choice. That's exactly right. No one and again, these women did this of their own free will and volition. BJ 347 $5 says Donovan, you and I both. Do people use woman? Yes. Do people use woman and woman incorrectly on purpose, or do they not know how to use the words correctly? I don't know. I really don't know. It's the weirdest thing. More and more people are using the word woman as all the time. Like, well, there were 5 women there. That makes no sense.
You know, it's all about who you know and what kind of hookup you get.
It's all about who you know and what kind of hookup you can get. Oh, and now that's a problem? Hot girls get into the club all the time for free, dude. Hot girls hit the strip. They don't even have to carry their ID. They're hot girls. They get into the club for free. They get drinks for free. But nobody has a problem with that. Right? Just like Amanda. Amanda had no problem getting into the clubs in Miami, but then when she was on with the late, great Kevin Samuels, now it's a problem. Now we're talking about fairness. No, man. Life ain't fair. Life isn't fair. Attractive people have attractive privilege. That's how it works. Women know this better than anybody. Attractive women have privileges that non-attractive women do not. But guess what? Powerful men have privileges that non-powerful men don't. But women do not like it. See, women want to reserve the right to leverage their sexuality for resources, but they don't want men to leverage their resources for sexuality. Nope. Sorry. Women there are women who do exactly the same thing every single day.
And it's not fair, but that's pretty much how they've made
Oh
the
my
industry.
God! Ladies, oh my God. This is why you don't do steroids. Oh my God. Holy moly.
The Post interviewed scores of former and current female bodybuilders about their experience with JM. Many described a relationship where they felt pressured to please JM and those within his immediate circle in order to advance their careers.
They felt pressured. Okay. that comes with the business, but just because they weren't forced to do anything, guys.
If you were signed by JM, if you were doing these nude photos on the website, you were going to be a pro and you were going to be a big name and you were going to get sponsored and you were going to just have this great life.
Yeah, and if you take me out to dinner and you treat me like a queen, I'm going to be sexually loyal. I'm going to give you kids, and we're going to be married happily ever after. Guys, tell me we haven't heard that before. Again. This is a man leveraging his resources for access to women's sexuality.
Mandy Henderson first fell in love with bodybuilding at 18.
Like, I was at the gym working out at like the age of 18, and I saw a female that she had muscle, and I loved it, and I totally thought, like, that's what I want to look like. I want to look like that kind of fitness model.
Henderson began competing in the mid-2000s. She met John Tuman, a show promoter.
Dude, she has dude legs, man. Ugh. Dude, listen, women who have muscles or veins in their muscles or striations, oh no. Heads Up Fiction says, oh boy, says, do female bodybuilders take testosterone? Yes, they absolutely do. Devin is on testosterone. Yes, Devin is on testosterone. She's on a very, very, very low level of testosterone, like microdoses, right? But female bodybuilders, they take testosterone, they take anabolic steroids. Jesus. Derek the Trader says, God help these people. You got that right. Look at these legs.
Suggested she sign on with JM in order to get her pro card. The cost of competing can quickly add up, but only a small minority of bodybuilders ever make money. Earning a pro card not only allows athletes to compete in the most prestigious events, but it also means they can win greater prize money.
And so he just kept pushing like the JM thing. You know, you need a contract with JM management, JM this.
Henderson agreed to pose nude and received a contract from JM promising a 50-50 profit.
There it is. She agreed to pose nude. Agreed to pose nude. Nobody forced you to pose nude. You did this of your own free will and volition. Not trying to hear it.
Split for websites that involved quote-unquote Playboy-style photos.
Uh-oh.
She said her first nude photo shoot with JM happened in Las Vegas during a competition weekend.
Of course it did.
It was clearly said, like, if you do this photo shoot, you're going to get your pro card. So we go to this hotel room, and there's 2 other girls, and so we start taking pictures, and JM is the photographer, of course. Lingerie starts coming off, and it's getting more and more revealing. At one point during the photo shoot, John Tuman came up behind me, and I was wearing, I don't know if I was wearing anything or if I was just wearing skimpy lingerie.
Wait, what? I can't remember if I was naked or not. That's kind of a difference.
Pressed the front of his body against me, and I could feel his crotch area against my back area. Just sent chills up my spine.
Oh, stop it. Give me a break.
It made me want to throw up. But in the back of my mind, I just kept thinking, just go with it, because this is going to get your pro card. Like, you just need to do a photo shoot, and then you're going to get a pro card, because that's what these men keep telling you. I go and I do the show, and I end up not even in the top 15. I was just crushed. Like, here I am. I'm like, I just did this photo shoot, you know, completely naked, and I didn't even place in the top 15.
Okay. So you got lied to. You were lied to. A man told you, if you pose nude, you will get your tour card. You didn't get your tour card. Okay. Listen, lying to women is not against the law. Okay? What she is describing is what women do. A man leveraged his resources to get access to your sexuality. He leveraged his resources to get access to your sexuality, and he lied to you. Really? Okay. Not against the law. Again, women lie to men all the time. They lie to men directly, and they lie to men indirectly. For example, Raven is lying to SK on season 3 of Love is Blind. She is indirectly lying to him and making him think that, yeah, you know what? We're going to get married, and we're going to live happily ever after, etc., etc. Raven is not, no. Raven is leveraging her sexuality for access to resources. That's what she's doing. Women lie to men indirectly about their sexual interest in them so they can get gifts food, trips, etc. But then when after a guy takes you out for dinner a couple times, then you ghost him, and we tell other people, oh, boo hoo hoo, you have male privilege, you should have known. Okay, well, guess what? Bitch, you should have known. This dude tricked you into taking nude photos. That's on you. If you're stupid enough, if you are dumb enough to believe that posing in a nude photo was going to get you a tour card, you deserve to be lied to. You should have gotten, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. And this is what this comes down to. These women attempted a shortcut. That's what happened. This is what she's essentially saying. This is what this is equivalent to. This is what this is equivalent to. Okay? You have a test or an exam at college, right? There's some sort of an exam. You get what you think are the correct answers. You bomb the test. You paid $100 for a copy of this test and you bomb the test. Now you're complaining to the school. Now you're complaining to the deans that I paid for a shortcut. I was told that this was the answers to the test, and the answers were not, these were not the answers to the test. I paid someone $100 for a shortcut, and they hustled me. That's what happened. This is what happened. You got hustled, lady. This is what happens, gentlemen, when you try to take shortcuts. All of these women who pose nude try to take shortcuts. And it's funny how they contradict it, because at the beginning, the lady was like, well, what this should be is you should be able to just get there on your merit and, physiques. That's correct. So why are women posing nude? Because they wanted a shortcut. Women are not interested in a meritocracy. Women have never been interested in fairness. These women pose nude because they thought it would give them a shortcut. It turned out that they got hustled. Amen. That's what happens. This is what happens when you try to cheat your way to the cops. Cheat your way to the top. You can't lie and cry that your shortcut didn't pan out. Sorry. Myron's alter ego says, this is crazy. I love my black queens, though. Yeah, well, you and me both.
And I remember John Tooman had said, just keep going, just keep going, just keep doing what, JM is telling you to do. Just keep being on the website, just keep doing this.
So she continued to do nude photos?
And he said, and you'll get your pro card.
Unbelievable.
The Post reached out to Tooman, but he refused to hear Henderson's specific allegations. Instead, he responded, quote, it's all lies, unquote.
He said it's all lies.
Stop the cap.
Nah, there ain't lies. Nope, he absolutely took nude photos of this chick. He hustled these girls, y'all. Cry me a river.
Henderson posed nude for at least one other group photo shoot.
Look at that.
She never received any money for the photos. It would take several more years before Henderson earned her pro card at the USA's amateur competition in 2010.
And I wonder what she did for that.
She quit shortly after.
The person that put in the most work and has the best physique, that's the person that should win.
That's exactly right. That's the person that should win. Not the girl who poses for nudes. Do you see? Do you see? She is complaining about not getting away with cheating. Guys. I tried to cheat my way to the top and it didn't work.
Not be the person that is taking the nude pictures over here or doing whatever they're doing behind.
And I would agree.
Behind the scenes.
I think it's hard to overestimate just how much an athlete wants to win. Coaches know it, officials know it, other athletes know it. It's this giving up integrity by inches.
Oh,
and
stop
having
it.
other people.
Oh, now all of a sudden we're worried about integrity? Get the fuck out of here, man.
Take their integrity by inches.
Let's see if I can go back. Okay, so like it says 3 new.
Frank Woola said there's something missing from the story. Why would she continue to keep going through photo shoots if she's not getting the outcomes that she's looking for? Exactly. Guys, exactly. Exactly. You took nude photos. They said they're going to give you your pro card. You did the nudes. You finished 15th. Why would you continue to take nudes but then be surprised that it would take you years to get your pro card? I mean, yeah, Frank Moolah said, basically they got finessed. They got finessed. That's how this works. J Blaze 11, $2 super chat says, Don, they should be happy. Only 10 people saw the nudes. Yeah, right? Busy as the 87 says, not only cheat, she actually tried to manipulate a guy, and the situation being female, as they always do, she got bamboozled and is now angry. There you go. There you go. You see, she tried to leverage her sexuality for access to resources, but the dude behind the camera flipped the script.
New divas are coming soon, and Jen Gates is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't.
You didn't what?
I was going to be on a porn site.
Yeah, you didn't know you were going to be on a porn site, but you knew nobody forced you to take nude pictures either. Like, I fail to see the problem. I fail to see the problem.
I didn't say okay to any of this.
You said okay to the nudes, sweetheart. You said okay to the nudes. Like, you're taking nudes. I mean, what do you think they're going to do? Put it in a family photo album? Dude, if you're taking nude pictures, where in the world did you expect them to put this up on? What, SesameStreet.com? Like, get the fuck out of here. Well, I was taking nudes, but I didn't know it was going to be on a porn site. Well, then, where else did you expect the photos to go? Fuck out of here, dude. I feel not one ounce of pity for these women. Nobody held a gun to their head to take these nude photos. They didn't. Nobody held a gun to their head. Calvin Baldwin, $10, says, I learned that women reserve the right to change their minds. Reserve the right to be offended. Reserve the right to utilize double standards that benefit them. Yeah, you're right. Good point.
Jen Gates rocketed to the top of professional women's bodybuilding in the late 2000s.
Professional women's. Ay, ay, ay.
She signed on with JM in 2007 after turning pro and began to do photo shoots with him.
Uh-oh.
The photo shoots were super awkward and super cheesy and not good photos.
Yeah, but guess what, Jen? See, this is the equivalent. This is the equivalent of a woman being a spicy movie star, but then complaining that she can't get men to take her seriously. You made all the money and got to have all the great sex with well-endowed men, but you didn't want to pay the price at the end.
JM had asked me if I could go topless or take my bottoms off, and I just wouldn't do it.
Okay.
And he never pressured me a whole lot because I always was very guarded and always said, I'm a mom. I can't.
So what's the problem? What's the problem? So he asked you to take nude photos. You didn't. You were still successful. What's the problem?
And grinned and bared it.
Not long after turning pro, Gates won in the figure division at Miss Olympia in 2008. But Gates' personal life was tumultuous. She had filed for divorce and was in the midst of moving out when her husband died by suicide.
Oh boy.
Competing was not on my radar. It was the last thing I thought about. I had to take care of my kids, take care of myself, have a funeral, move everything out of my house that I'd lived in for 10 years.
I don't care.
It was hard.
What's that got to do with anything?
Then Gates found out she was pregnant.
Oh boy.
When I told JM I was pregnant, that's when I lost my sponsorship. I feel like they were just done with me. Like, I had a baby and I just kind of got the message that I didn't get the placing I deserved. So at that time, I just decided I was gonna walk away from it forever.
So you got pregnant and then JM tore up your contract. What did you think was going to happen? What did you think that was going to happen? And Devin, I was actually going to mention this a little bit later. Yeah, she zeroed out her husband. Her husband probably committed self-187 because she smashed another dude and got pregnant. That's probably why he 187 himself. But no, we're not going to talk about that. Right? Yeah, Devin says pregnant by who? Yeah, exactly. But they're just going to gloss over that part. They're only going to point out the parts where, oh, it was so inconvenient ahead of a funeral and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we don't know why her husband self-187'd. Yeah, Diecaster says, wonder why the hubby deleted himself. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no.
Oh, this bitch is scary looking, dude.
Like many other competitors, Ali Garcia knew she had to shoot with JM if she wanted to remain competitive in bodybuilding.
I shot with JM several times. I would ask, okay, what look are we going for? Is it going to be athletic? And he's like, well, just, pack, lingerie.
Oh my God, this woman is hideous. This woman is absolutely hideous. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Mr. Underwood TV says, can't fuck with you no more for coming for Danica Marie for no reason. All right, well, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Peace.
You know, thongs, swimsuits. It was like less was more. The less.
Oh, this is her right here. Okay.
Was the better.
In 2013, at a show in Orlando, JM photographed Garcia with another male competitor at the hotel pool.
So.
Dude.
Video.
Wait a minute. Give me 1 second. Hold up. Let me see. Johnny Green, member for 13 months. Appreciate that very, very much. I don't know why this is not working. There we go. Says female bodybuilding is a post-wall sport. It absolutely is. And I don't have a problem with it. Like, dude, women don't have... I have never smashed a woman with a six-pack under the age of 40. Dude, I have smashed dozens of girls in their 20s and 30s. But the only women I have ever smashed that actually had like six-pack abs are women in their 40s. So yeah, it is a post-wall sport. And guess what? I'm not mad at it. Now, I wouldn't smash a bodybuilding woman. I'm not going to smash a woman who's a bodybuilder, but I've smashed girls who were fitness competitors.
It was shot by John Howley, who, you know, he would make some good content, but he always added a very perverted twist onto stuff like that.
A perverted twist? Sweetheart, sex sells. Sex sells.
That video of Jason Poston and I, he loops a part where I laugh and I bend over, and his hand kind of slides down my back, and he loops it to make it look like, you know, he's doing me doggy style. And it's like, why'd you have to take something and just trash it up?
Because you bent over and smiled. Listen, look, this is so funny. This is ridiculous. She's complaining about the fact that she posed like this, but then she complained that they... Watch.
Like that video of Jason Poston and I, he loops a part where I laugh and I bend over, and his hand kind of slides down.
Look at him. Look. The dude is like, yeah. The dude is like, And there it is. Herbert Kolakowski says she looks like she likes it. Yep. She looks like she likes it. So what's the problem?
My back, and he loops it to make it look like, you know, he's doing me doggy style. And it's like,
hey, Don DeMarco. Hey, bitch, you bent over and smiled.
Why'd you have to take something and just trash it up?
Sweetheart, he didn't have to trash it up. You did that all on your own.
But he then does a shoot or a video of me talking about what it's like to shoot with JM. You know, JM really lets us...
Kyle, member for 26 months. Appreciate that. Says a documentary for what they put on IG themselves. Yeah, right?
Be ourselves and become creative and...
I like to be collaborating.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I make it a collaborative.
It doesn't look like it looks like she is quite enjoying herself.
Collaborative process. I am not like a total control freak about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I like. And you've seen the images, and they're hot. Let me tell you, I am pretty sure that I was just lying out of my face, you know, because, I mean, I think part of it was genuine.
God damn,
but
she
then
hit the
there were
wall
other parts where I'm
hard.
like saying things to make him look good. When I still hadn't seen a return on any of this excitement or investment, I'm just thinking I have to push myself. I have to keeping myself relevant.
And whose choice was that? Like, I don't know what she's complaining about. She's the one that she willingly did this.
Shortly after the shoot, JM approached Garcia about posing nude.
When he first showed me the website, when I saw like the girls were nude, like girls that I know, and it looked like softcore porn, and I wanted to have that spit the rice out, what the hell type of reaction, but I was like, oh, okay. You know, like, I see. But you don't know what to say, and you're not gonna be like, fuck that, I'm not doing that shit, because that's your boss.
No. You can't say, fuck that, I'm not doing that shit. See? She's blaming his authority for her decisions. He did not hold a gun to your head. The other girl just said, hey, look, he never pressured me. He asked me once or twice, I never did it. That's how that works.
So now you start thinking like, is this what everyone else is doing? how can I keep this political advantage and not do that? I think I rode that as long as I could, to the point where I couldn't say anything but no. You know, it was just...
Look at this. Dude, this is... Do you hear this hamstring? Calvin Baldwin says her lack of accountability...
Over 9,000!
Exactly. She's not... She's blaming everyone for posing nude but herself. Well, you can't say no to your boss. Sure you can. Of course you can. If you didn't want to pose nude, you could have just said no. But you didn't.
I mean, that was my answer, but I felt like the moment I was like, no, everything was going to change, which it did. I really tried to believe the industry wasn't about that.
Oh, please.
Sure showed me.
Oh, please.
JM's management group terminated Garcia's contract.
I thought it really sucked that it's like, dude, really? This is the only way I'm going to, you know, hit my goal? Guess I'm not going to hit my goal.
Okay. Well, there it is. She made the right decision. She said, look, I'm not posing nude. She didn't pose nude. They terminated her contract.
When there's a power dynamic, we recognize throughout society that you cannot have consent. So even if it looks like...
Oh my God, you cannot have consent. And there's that C word. Ay, 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 ay. You cannot have consent. Of course you have consent. We now have two women who said, hey, they wanted to take nude pictures of me, and I said no. I fail to see the problem. What does that have to do with consent?
Like some quote-unquote consensual relationship, when there's a power dynamic between people, it's really not consent.
Somebody time out Machiavelli Zot. Says, Sharpe, can we react to that stupid Nina yet?
Nope.
Not yet. This is my show, and I run my show the way I want to run it.
Consensual.
The websites disappeared in 2015 with no apparent explanation. It's unclear how much income JM collected from the sites. But for athletes like Henderson, the damage was done.
It just left a really bad taste in my mouth.
The damage was
done. It
done?
wasn't about the sport anymore. It was about, were you taking pictures? Were you managed by JM? Were you doing everything that you were supposed to do? And it makes me really sad now to think that I allowed myself to go through that for 7 years and put myself through that for 7 years.
Well, there we go. Well, there we go. There we go, guys. Democracy dies in darkness. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, listen, nobody put a gun to her head. Nobody ever puts a gun to these women's heads, man. They got hustled. The women didn't play ball. They got hustled. Men get hustled. Dude, men get finessed by women all the time. But as soon as women get finessed by men, there's a Netflix special. The Tinder Swindler. You guys remember him? You guys remember the Tinder Swindler? Ay, 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 ay. All right, it is now time for the main event. It is now time for the main event. We are now going to break down. We are now going to break down the. We are now going to break down the Nina video here on Fresh and Fit. But before we do that, I'm going to react to my last appearance on Fresh and Fit when Nina was there. So this was a conversation. So sitting next to Nina are Shea Butter and Tommy Sotomayor. I am to Nina's left. I'm sitting right beside her. There, of course, is Juicy on the bottom left-hand corner. She's been banned for life. She's been banned for life. Kyle 2020 says, "You go, King, get the bag." Yeah, right. Exactly. She is banned for life. But this was a conversation where Nina was complaining about something, and I called her out on first world problems. Here we go. Look, let me bring this back around. I understand what you're trying to say, but I want you to understand you live in a different America than black women. Those are the facts. You might not live in the same America as white women, but you live in a very different America than black women, and they would tell you that. That's the first thing.
I'm not denying that though.
Right, but when
But
you
you're
say
trying to commiserate with
well,
them.
I understand, and maybe I don't know, maybe it was like a misuse of the term. But when you say person of color, a lot of people think you're maybe trying to tell people that you have the same problems as black women.
No, I've never claimed to be black.
Okay, when
But
you
I'm
say
still a brown girl.
I understand
I'm
that,
not
but
a
you
white
don't,
woman.
Nina. You live in a different America than black women.
Okay,
That's-
because
okay, no.
Thank
Listen,
the Lord, I'm top 1% of society. But if I lived in, like, let's say,
but you live in America.
But
No, sweetie. Let's not do the hypotheticals, okay? You live in a different America than black women. And I guess Tommy was on my side. Listen, I'm glad you're an influencer, but you're complaining, blonde bimbos. What you're doing is complaining about first
I've
world.
never said
What
that
you are
either.
doing is you're complaining about first world problems.
You know, Mike.
Black women. Black women, and again, I know we've been hard on you guys, but you guys have it fucking tough. You're a genuine sweetheart. You two live in a very different America. And so when you use that terminology as a woman of color, a lot of people watching could kind of take, and Tommy did, so Nina's trying to say she's black. I'm not saying that that's what you said, but
never
when you
claimed to be black.
okay, but when you say woman of color, that's what people think that you're saying.
All right, we're gonna move on. Hold on. We're gonna
I
move on.
mean, woman of color just means non-white
We need to let
woman.
these black women. This enough talk about race. These two, and then we're done.
Let's get racial.
Let's just go.
It's way past my bedtime.
Let's change the subject. Yeah, let's change it. Let's change the subject.
So what that was about is Nina was actually complaining about the fact that, she was like, well, women on Instagram and this and that and the third, because I would have so much, I would have so many more followers if I were blonde. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I know someone who looks like you ain't complaining about not being white. That's why I was like, dude, what you're complaining about are first world problems. Was absolutely ridiculous. All right, so now we come to the main event. This is where Nina. This is when they get into a discussion about the problem with OnlyFans. Buckle the fuck up. Here we go.
Mystique is a thing for real. So the problem with OnlyFans is it demystifies you. It lets guys look at you, something that's supposed to be sacred.
There it is.
Pay $3.99 to see it all. So my thing is that the reason why OnlyFans is inherently unattractive is because it shows everything, right? Women typically they tell them be a lady, be quiet, whatever.
Be mysterious,
it's
be
because
coy.
that feminine mystique has been something that's been ingrained in men that they're attracted to. This is why, like, nature puts certain things in place for women to be able to move in silence. You don't know when a chick has her period typically unless she tells you, or if she bleeds when you're seeing her in an intimate moment, or you don't know when she's ovulating. You don't know that shit. You have to put that shit on a calendar.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
To be surreptitious in their sexual behavior. So when a woman is out there ostentatiously with her sexual behavior, it becomes very unattractive.
Oh boy, Myron, be careful. Be careful, Myron. Ostentatiously, like, dude. Myron's got to be careful using words over 3 syllables because most of these bitches are not going to know what it means because they're what?
A grenade.
John Henry with the $5 super chat says, this is
A grenade.
Bro, appreciate that.
Attractive. Men don't like that. So, with that said, it's on the girl to keep that mystique there. I'm not telling you you're not going to lose dates or whatever. I'm just telling you that it's going to disqualify you from long-term relationships with certain calibers of guys, or they're going to tell you you need to stop it.
There you
But
go.
very few guys are going to actually accept it, realistically speaking. The reason why your guy accepted it is because he had no leverage. You were the breadwinner, you were in the leadership role, and he didn't.
Brokey. Yeah.
He's unfortunately he's of a lower status. So when he's a lower status, he can't dictate shit to you.
I understand, like, you having an OnlyFans might hold you back in your dating life, but you also have to know the rules to the game, right? Like, don't have an OnlyFans and expect a guy to wife you up. Of course, like.
Okay, so far so good.
That should already be your mindset doing OnlyFans.
And
like
you accept that, that's
I think OnlyFans is should be kind of like a mission
one other thing too I
in
want
your
to say.
life.
Remember how I mentioned like women are typically supposed to be surreptitious, whatever? You're right. What you said before. A girl can go to the club, be in a section, be a slut,
Be on yachts
fucking a bunch
every
of guys.
Saturday.
You're right.
That's ugly as fuck.
You're
That's
right.
disgusting.
But here's the difference.
Nina's acting like she's never been on a yacht before. One thing about Nina, guys, you guys know she's been on Fresh and Fit countless times. A lot of you guys are saying she's been on 28 times. I think Pogson said she's been on like 28, 30 times. One thing about Nina that really sort of, it doesn't rub me the wrong way, but it's comical how Nina tries to come off as this hot, innocent girl, right? She's got the bangs and she's this and she's that, but she acts like she's above it all. She acts like she's not the typical Miami thought. She acts like she's never been on a yacht. Well, girls who do this or that, Nina acts like she is this innocent girl. But just like you said, Tasukihira says, but her ass is all over Instagram. Yes, it is. Look to the left of your screen. This is who Nina is, guys. Okay, look at the left of your screen. This is who Nina is. Do you see how adept? Like, dude, she's making, like, listen, she's making her ass talk like a video vixen. Look at this. That's literally all she does. She tries to come off as this innocent girl who doesn't do the same things. I don't live that Miami life, yet in every other video, she's shaking her ass. And she has an OnlyFans. That's why I'm not, that's why I've never really jived with Nina, because she tried, and Janelle, I had a conversation with Janelle, the same thing. When they were talking about, well, when they were on Fresh and Fit together, and they were talking about girls who, well, yeah, when girls get out of relationships, they sleep around. And Nina, unprovoked, said, who's sleeping around? And I'm like, oh my God, this bitch is acting like she's Miss Innocent. Black Lamber 2009 says all the regulars on the show do this. You might be right. You might be right.
Difference. She's able to do it in privacy and silence to a degree.
Yep.
When you're on OnlyFans, everyone knows it and can see it.
It's an open.
And here's the other thing. Again, if you're dressed like a whore or you act like a whore, but you're not a whore, people are going to assume that you're a whore because you're wearing a whore's uniform.
Thank you.
On the other hand,
Nina wants to, and listen, who knows? For all we know, Nina could be a prude. I doubt it, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe she really is innocent, but when you put stuff like this on Instagram, people have a hard time taking you seriously. Like, dude, she shakes her ass like a fucking pro. Like, dude, she is all, like, look how surgical she is. Look how surgical she is with this ass shaking. Look at this. This is like professional level booty shaking. Like, she's the first round draft pick of the BSL, the Booty Shaking League.
A bitch might be a nurse and she's wearing a nurse uniform.
Even still, look, here's another way she tries to come off as innocent is with these bangs. Right? She tries to, and again, she doesn't wear a lot of makeup. She tries to come off as this wholesome girl who's kind of hot. No. Nina looks like a city girl. She does. Whether she is or not is immaterial. She looks like one, and she acts like one on Instagram. So you can't be mad that people see you in a certain way.
Uniform, they don't know that she's a hoe because she's able to do what? Move in silence like
there
I described
it is.
Before.
Wait, nurse?
A woman's biggest power is her mystique. When a girl goes on OnlyFans or on porn, she loses that power.
Listen, man, that is the comment of the night. That mystique. You cannot take a woman seriously if more people have seen her naked than people she actually knows. This is the thing with OnlyFans girls. Is like, dude, there are, and dude, you don't think people are screen capping this? You don't think that there are sites where they have OnlyFans content for free? You don't think people sign up for OnlyFans and screen record all that good stuff and then put it on other? Of course she does. Of course they do. The internet is forever. And the more men have seen you naked, the less valuable you literally are. The only mystique a woman has is her lady parts. That's it. And when a bunch of men have seen you naked or getting fucked, there's literally nothing else for them to be, there's nothing else for you to offer them.
But I could argue that and say that when you sleep with a guy, all of a sudden, like, now you're in everyone's mouth. You're in the friends group mouth.
But it's not.
This is funny. This is a good counter.
Your friend group was talking about
But
you.
here's the thing: you're talking about a small social circle amongst people.
Yes.
Versus the worldwide.
Thank you.
You know what?
Thank you. Thank you. So there goes Nina. There goes Nina. Well, I'm not like these other girls. When you sleep around, when you sleep with a guy, you're in everybody's friends group's mouth. Okay, very, very true. But the internet is a lot bigger than your friend group. The internet is a lot bigger than your friend group. The internet is, just like Myron's about to say, it is the World Wide Web. Nina does not, dude, this was a false comparison. So now Nina is trying to say that she's essentially better than girls who's, well, listen, I might do OnlyFans, but at least I don't sleep around. We don't know that you don't sleep around. We don't know that you don't sleep around. You're an OnlyFans girl. You're wearing a whore's uniform, so people are going to assume you're a whore. Sleeping around and being on OnlyFans, those things are not mutually exclusive from one another. These things matter. They're in the same vein.
I would rather people say, like, oh, I saw Nina's ass on OnlyFans than people say, like, oh, Nina fucked so-and-so and Nina wasn't.
Are you kidding me? I'd rather people say I saw Nina's ass on OnlyFans than say Nina fucked whoever. What? Did you see Jay says local versus global? Yeah, exactly.
You get over it. Yeah, I think.
Oh, wait a minute. I was running my mouth. Listen to what Sneeko says.
Compare yourself to.
When a girl goes on OnlyFans or on porn, she loses that power.
But I could argue that and say that when you sleep with a guy, all of a sudden, like, now you're in everyone's mouth. You're in the friends group mouth.
But
the
it's not
entire
the
friend
same.
group was talking about
but
you.
here's the thing: you're talking about a small social circle amongst people versus the worldwide globe.
But you know what?
Internet.
I would rather people say, like, oh, I saw Nina's ass on OnlyFans than people say, like, oh, Nina fucked so-and-so and Nina
I think that's how you get over it.
Yeah.
I think you compare yourself to other women.
Uh-oh. Sneeko got her. Hey, Big Mo is in the house with the $5 super chat. Big Mo says, all I can say is my favorite law of Sharpe. The more a woman tries to convince you of something, need I say more? That's right. Law number 24 of the 49 laws of Sharpe specifically states, the more a woman tries to convince you of something, the more likely the opposite is true. Very, very, very well said, Big Mo, the sound engineer for Fresh and Fit.
Like, I'm not a whore.
And Mo actually cracks me the fuck up in this video because he could not stop laughing.
Because other women fuck guys more.
Nina, you're coping hard right now because we're not telling you that you're a slut. We're not telling you that you're a slut. We're telling you people that don't know you personally like we do are going to assume you're a slut.
There it is.
That's what we're telling you.
People have assumed that I'm a slut since I was a virgin.
What's that got to do with anything, Nina? People have assumed I was a slut since I was a virgin. And why would they assume you're a slut? Why would they assume you're a slut, Nina? Maybe because when you were a virgin, maybe you were doing this. Right? She thinks she's actually flexing when she says people have assumed I was a slut even when I was a virgin. That's not something to be proud of. Because if people assume you're a slut even when you're a virgin, it meant you were wearing a slut's uniform, sweetheart. Derek the Trader with the $5 super chat says, Donovan, you noted that Nina has been on Fresh and Fit numerous times. Do you think she has become a better woman as a result, or is she a lost cause? Nina's a lost cause. The only reason why Nina is on Fresh and Fit is, and this is good business by her. Nina's an OnlyFans girl, and she owes her success to Fresh and Fit, because if not for Fresh and Fit, she probably wouldn't have an OnlyFans, right? She makes an appearance. She knows that they put the link in the link in the description, this and that and the third. She probably picks up a few OnlyFans customers from doing these shows. But do I think she's a lost cause? She's 26, 27 years old, and she's close. That's a tough one to say, man. It really is tough. It really, really, really is tough, because someone who looks like Nina should be married already. But I don't think Nina's interested in marriage, man. I think Nina is a city girl trying to be a good girl. She wants everybody to think that she wants... See, Nina's the typical modern woman. She wants to get married and have kids, like most women do. But because she's still hot and she gets attention from men, she thinks she has time. And she does, until she doesn't. Nina tries to come off as, well, I'm hot, but I'm different. No, you're the same. You're the same. You're the typical Miami chick who looks good, who has an OnlyFans. Is there any wonder why you're still single? Even Zur, $5, says, Myra nailed it with the surreptitiousness of a woman and its attraction to men. Nina definitely capitalizes on this and well pretends otherwise. Exactly. Exactly. Nina is capitalizing on her pert ass, but she doesn't want to pay the price.
Like,
but
well,
look, she guessed you had a body count of 20.
Uh-oh.
I mean, how do you know my body count is 20?
What I'm saying, she...
Oh, there it is. How do you know my body count is 20? I think Nina's body count is well over 20. Her body count is well over 20. Like, listen, please don't get it twisted. Just because Nina's a regular on Fresh and Fit and claims that she has a low body count, that does not mean she has a low body count. Any woman who can shake her ass like this, any woman who shakes her ass like that ain't got no low body count. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. An ass like that moves like that, like, dude, she has control over every muscle in that ass. She can probably spell the alphabet with her ass. Just A, B, C, D. Fuck out of here.
I guess that...
Shaggy Bretta says Nina can try to make people think she's one way, but her actions speak otherwise. Yes.
That's the point.
Even though she's
That's
wrong.
what people are assuming. She was wrong.
But
But
people
it's just
have
how
assumed
we're
that since
assuming.
I was freaking... Like, since when have you lived off of people's opinions?
See, she thinks that it's a good thing that people assume that she wasn't a virgin even when she was a virgin, that she was a slut even when she was a virgin. What this meant is that she was dressing like a slut. When you dress like a slut, people assume you're a slut. She knows this.
People's opinions don't pay your bills. They don't get you to where you want to be in life.
I mean, they're not.
MLD is in the house. He says, wait a minute. He says, he says her ass looks like a map of rivers in the USA with all those stretch marks. Look, I would definitely tap that ass. That's one thing I like about Devin's ass is that it has no stretch marks, no cottage cheese. 46 years old, no stretch marks, no cottage cheese. But she doesn't have kids, so I guess that's a trade-off. Listen, I mean, this is just, I don't know. Who knows? But MLD's in the building, guys. Go subscribe to his channel. He finally cracked. Did you crack the 60,000 subscriber mark? Dude, John was stuck at 15,000 subscribers forever, and he finally broke through this year. John is definitely one of the OGs. Modern Life Dating, man. Follow this guy. Follow this guy on Twitter. Follow him on Instagram if he's still there, and subscribe to his channel. Good stuff, man.
But that's not the point.
Hold up. This was funny. I was talking. I was running my mouth. Listen.
Have you lived off of people's opinions? People's opinions don't pay your bills. They don't get you to where you want to be in life.
I mean, they're not to pay your bills.
Oops. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Like,
Nuts a feeling.
I would never.
It's the biggest feeling we have.
I don't know. Like, I would never look down on someone for what they do.
That's you. You did.
Oh, this is funny. I would never look down on someone for what they do. It's funny how women say that they would never look down on someone for what they do when they're talking about what they do. Right? When you're talking about what they do. I would never judge someone for doing porn, says the porn star. Right? I would never judge someone for selling drugs, says the drug dealer. I would never judge someone for doing OnlyFans, says the OnlyFans star. Mr. C73 with the $10 super chat says, Donovan, with as many times as Nina has been on the show, has Fresh or Fit tagged it. You know what? I don't know, but we're gonna find out. I'm gonna shoot Fresh a text, real quick. Hold up. We do it live, baby. Have you smashed Nina? I want to find out. I'm going to find out if Fresh smashed her. I think if anybody smashed her, it was Fresh. Yeah, Frank Mula says, now Nina wants to be sanctimonious. Like, dude, like, at least with the other thoughts, they keep it real. But Nina keeps trying to dip her her foot in the pool. Big Mo with another $10 super chat says, I tell people my laugh comes from my knowledge of MLD, Donovan, and Rolo's work. Therefore, I understand everything. And as I always say, once you understand everything a woman says, you'd be laughing too. See, Mo has that internal womanese translator. That's why he's always laughing, because he translates it immediately. He sees the subtitles. Shout out to Big Mo.
No.
Red Nebula is a Knight Rider. No, Red Nebula says, is Nina a Knight Rider? We're about to find out.
You just look down at these other girls, these other sluts who fuck guys
Or
all the
what
time.
they do for money.
Nigga, you do OnlyFans for money.
Okay, I just don't care what other people do for money
says, see? You see that? So she shames sluts, but then Big Mo says, yep. Oh, and then he retracted the message. Oh no! Did Big Mo accidentally spill the tea? Oh no, he didn't. He spilled the tea. So Big Mo, are we getting confirmation that Fresh smashed Nina? I'm gonna get look. I got one person that says yes. If I can get verification from Fresh himself, then Nina's definitely a Knight Rider. And if she smashed Fresh, then dude, of course her body count is over 20. Come on.
In a society way, you know what I mean? Like,
What?
I do care about like drug dealers. I don't think drug dealers are good for society, but like, I'm not. You can argue.
Oh no, Big Mo said no. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Nate Dogg is in the house. Good to see you in here. Says Nina is definitely a Knight Rider. She probably is.
That it's
Red Nebula says tea time. It's time to put the kettle on. It's time to put the kettle on.
morally.
Desmond Montgomery says Nina smashed Fresh and Sneagle. God damn. Oh, okay. His yep meant he was confirming his internal womanese translation. Okay, all right. I want to put words in your mouth.
Wrong to do OnlyFans, but I'm not really hurting anyone.
Nina, what are you arguing here?
I think this was probably one of the greatest female hamsters we've seen on the show.
Yes. Oh my God.
Remember
Yes.
that this
Yes.
all started with you saying no one cares about OnlyFans when we were talking directly about dating, when in reality
They do.
men care a lot about a woman being on
Absolutely.
OnlyFans from a wifing standpoint. You'll have no shortage of options when it comes to dating.
Attention.
However, you are going to have a shortage of options of men with options that are attractive that want to take you seriously.
That was my phone. Let's see. Oh, Fresh said nope. Oh, okay. All right. So Fresh says he did not smash Nina. All right. Okay. All right. Hey. We listen, I am America's honesty broker. I bring to you nothing but the truth. So I'm actually shocked that she hasn't smashed Fresh. So, but Fresh doesn't have any reason to lie. It is what it is.
There's a clear distinction there. Sexual attraction and relationship attraction are two different things. A guy's going to think twice about wifing a girl that's on OnlyFans. Especially if
look at her body language. This is weird.
He has options.
And also,
I don't know. Like what I say is that in the real world, it doesn't matter. I don't plan on being a celebrity.
But it does,
and I don't plan on being a politician.
But it does matter. When it comes to
she doesn't plan on being a celebrity or a politician, but do you plan on being a wife? You see how she's trying to justify doing sex work? Like, look, man, look, Nina's a sex worker. Okay? That's what she is. She's a sex worker. She's a sex worker. That doesn't mean she's a bad person, but that doesn't mean she's a sex worker. Or that doesn't mean that she's not a sex worker. And sex workers are frowned upon by society. This is the way it's always been. It's always been this way, and this is the way it always will be.
Dating. We're not talking about your future aspirations of buying a house, being a millionaire. That it doesn't matter there. But we're saying we're remember the top.
You guys don't, dude. You guys think Fresh is capping. Oh wow.
Was dating.
Well,
But I already go into the dating scene knowing that guys are going to like think a certain way about me.
So by default, it doesn't
I'm not
matter. So you
delusional.
literally just contradicted yourself.
I'm saying in the real world, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Like nobody.
It doesn't matter.
I've never had someone
People
say
have been
like, "Ew,
fired
you
from
do
their job.
OnlyFans."
There it is. There it is.
Because that OnlyFans, they get fired.
Yep.
It's a real problem.
Oh my God!
So it's
What
like, I get
the
what you're saying.
fuck?
It doesn't matter, but it does matter. For dating, it does matter.
Yeah,
People
but
are gonna judge you.
Like,
Yo, what the hell is Pogson doing with the mask? Unbelievable.
You get financial institutions to lend you money if you do OnlyFans.
But that's
so it
Oh
doesn't
my
matter.
God.
Dating.
What matters most in this world right now is numbers.
That's
Numbers
my
matter
enemy.
more than anything.
Nina, are you okay?
I blew my snot rocket right into the trash.
Someone who just bought a house.
Who gives a shit? I don't care that you bought a house. What? Look, the overarching point is that sex workers, if a man finds out that you are or ever were a sex worker, you're done. He's not taking you seriously. That's it. Like, look, again, if you're a sex worker, you're not a bad person. I want to make that clear. Okay? Sex workers, and I'm not being facetious here. Sex workers serve a purpose. They serve a real purpose. I think sex workers are the reason why the 187 rates are not as high as they could be. Men have to have an outlet. OnlyFans, pornography, escorts, strip clubs, etc., etc. That allows men to blow off steam. Pun definitely intended. This doesn't mean they're bad people, but let's not pretend that people are looking to wife up OnlyFans girls.
Men don't care about that.
We didn't ask you that though.
Men don't give a
Okay,
fuck.
but you're talking about like in the real world, it doesn't matter. It matters. No, it doesn't matter.
What the hell is she talking about? Of course it matters.
My
They're talking
numbers
about
mattered
dating.
more than the OnlyFans.
But we're talking about dating.
men
Bruh.
and women
You just went
together.
and put it into money.
Uh-oh. When women start turning against the other women, you know it's over. When other women start jumping in and saying, hey, boo, like, just stop it. Just stop it. Like, this is going nowhere fast. It's not worth it.
Which, I mean, to be honest with you, it will be. Some banks might not give you a loan if you're involved in certain industries.
Payment processors might not want to work with you.
Yeah.
No, I've never like.
You haven't, but other girls have.
It's easier to get a loan denial for like something having to do with I don't know
Nina,
an inspection than
Nina.
for like how you make your money. As
Holy
long as
shit.
your numbers
Respectfully,
are good.
Nina, I don't know what you're talking about right now. I think we should just move on because
You're very trigger.
Yeah.
You're not even arguing the points
Yeah,
anymore.
Nina.
You're just
Saying
anything we
stuff.
say, you're attacking it based off of your feeling versus what we're actually telling
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Number one, it does matter when it comes to dating that you're on OnlyFans. Number two, the real world does care about OnlyFans to a degree. Okay? It will be harder for you to get loans sometimes. Some banks might not bank with you because
absolutely not.
some banks might not bank
What
with you.
is she
I bank with 3 different banks.
I bank with 3 different banks. Nina, we're not talking about you. We're talking about in general. Ay, ay, ay.
Nina,
Don't give a damn.
Nina, that is you.
Wow, this is a rare
I
moment.
bank with 3 different banks. They
Nina.
don't give a damn.
Look, Leo,
Nina,
this is not something you often see from Myron Gaines. Myron has the patience of a saint. The only other time Myron actually showed, the only other time Myron's facial expression showed frustration or disbelief, hold on, let me see if I can find it. Oh my God, it was fucking hilarious. Dude, it was fucking hilarious. I actually have it up on my wall. Hang on a second. I'm going to try to find it. It is very, very rare. It is very rare to see this level of frustration from Myron. I'm trying to find it. Remember when he had Red on? Remember when he had Red on debating with them? Ah, damn. I can't find it. Oh, I can't find it. Okay, well, hold on. Wait a minute. Yeah, there was the Giga Karen one too, right? Myron Gaines. Nah. Okay, I'll just take the picture off the wall. So, this picture, and I actually did a meme out of it. This picture right here. This is the only other time that Myron actually showed any sign of frustration or disbelief. It was when he was going back and forth with Red, and Myron was like, "Are you fucking serious with this shit?" Yes. That was with Red. And now Myron, look at Myron. He's like, oh my fucking God. Oh my God.
That is you.
Look at him. He's like, oh my God.
You even got an account. It's like, yo, like
can't get an apartment.
Yo, it's like you're lucky.
What
You're
do
blessed.
you mean? I just bought a condo.
Okay,
that's you.
Oh my.
But I'm telling you that it still affects you in the real world. People lose their jobs over being on OnlyFans. People lose their careers over being on OnlyFans.
Yes, they
Don't
do.
do OnlyFans if you're a teacher.
But
Okay, so don't do OnlyFans if you're a teacher. That means that OnlyFans does affect you in the what class? The real world, Nina. So don't do OnlyFans if you're a teacher. Yeah.
it does, but the argument is that it does affect you in the real world.
There it is.
Nina, which is what you were saying it doesn't.
Yo, that's Mo. So now, what I like about Mo is that once he starts laughing, he doesn't stop laughing, dude. He watches these bitches dig a hole deeper and deeper. He watches these bitches dig a hole deeper and deeper, and it's like, dude, Mo just can't stop laughing. This is great.
It does affect you to a degree. Here's the other thing too. Tristan Tate, multi-millionaire, good friend of ours, ran around with had a bunch of OnlyFans girls working for him. Certain banks would not take his money because
Devin says Nina doesn't realize it limits her options because so many guys are hitting her up. And that is one of the many overarching points. That is a very good point, Devin. That's a very good point. Guys hit on Nina all the time because of the way she looks. But nobody takes her seriously for long-term relationships, which is why she's single. Nina is single because she's not wife material and because she's on OnlyFans, guys. Like, this is incredible. She thinks that it's all right because guys hit her up on Instagram. Sweetheart, getting attention and dick for women is easy. Getting the ring is the trick.
he was in the OnlyFans industry, the sex industry. Yeah. You do realize that OnlyFans was almost going to go bankrupt because they couldn't get payment processors.
Big Mo said he's laughing right now.
to take and process their credits.
Yep.
OnlyFans was gonna go out because they couldn't even get payment processors to take them.
You were here that episode as well.
It's a volatile business.
You were here in the studio.
I mean,
and dude, we've had payment processors reject us for what we talk about. You kidding me?
Like, honestly, it's really not that hard. Like, don't evade taxes. If you have OnlyFans, right? Don't evade your taxes and handle your numbers well.
You're missing the point. Anything involved with
my
pornography or
God.
the sex industry is considered a high-risk business, and certain financial institutions and payment processors have an issue with it.
There you go.
Why about a year ago,
I've never had that issue.
You do realize that about a year ago.
Oh my God! Now Myron just had to go past it. Every time Myron says something, and this is indicative of most women on Fresh and Fit or otherwise. Anytime we make a generalization, women always equate it to themselves. Most women are hoes. Well, I'm not a hoe. Most women branch swing. Well, I didn't branch swing, right? Myron is giving her facts. He's saying, here's what happens in general most of the time. Nina's counter argument, well, that didn't happen to me. Eben Zur with the $5 super chat says, Nina's casuistry and solipsism managed to overshadow the feminist from Nepal's reasoning about male and female dynamics, which was just as bad. Yeah, I'd be here all night if we had to break that down.
OnlyFans was almost going to go defunct because of this very issue that we're telling you about payment processors.
Nina, it was you that...
Women who are Grim Reefer says, women like Nina are community property. Guys, I said that in episode 37. This is episode 895. This is episode 895. Almost 800 episodes, over 800 episodes ago, I told you guys, 9s and 10s are community property. They don't belong to anyone. They belong to the game. Health as well says, Nina is a goody two-shoes girl turned 304. So real 304s won't have her back. Yeah, exactly right.
Daniela, Bianca, you were all here in the studio that day. You didn't know what was going to happen.
I don't know what else to tell you guys. Like, I've had OnlyFans for 3 years, and it's just never really affected my life.
Yeah, we got it.
Let's move on.
I've had OnlyFans for 3 years, and it's never really affected my life. Okay. Yet. That's the problem. It hasn't affected her life yet. You're still 20. You're only 27. You're still young and hot. Wait till that pert ass starts to go south. They're going to be like, okay, wait a minute. You're 32 years old and you were an OnlyFans model, so I'm not the only one who has seen you naked? Like, what the fuck?
I think this is proof that the attention makes girls live in
Just
delusion.
because it hasn't affected your life does not mean that it doesn't affect other people in the real world when it comes to OnlyFans. You can't look at the world through your own lens and say, this is reality.
Yo, Mo cannot stop laughing.
Jobs. People have lost bank accounts. People don't get payment processors accepted, etc. Because pornography in itself, the sex industry is considered a volatile business. Is very difficult. So just because you're able to get a loan and your life is different doesn't mean that other people don't.
Did Chris? Oh, that's Casey. Damn, I haven't seen Casey in a while.
I think numbers
She don't want to be
matter more
saved.
than-
Don't save her.
Oh no! Fresh. Wow.
We're not understanding each other.
Yeah, we will never will probably
Okay.
at this point. All right, we got some chat.
We understand you. It's just that your argument doesn't make sense.
Oh my god.
Well, your argument doesn't make sense.
Yo, look at Mo. Mo's about to pass out from laughing, dude.
Me either.
It never will.
Yeah. Okay, we're done here.
No, the difference is this, Nina.
Because
I'm
I
listening to
haven't
you. How do you not give
jeopardized
up?
anything in my life.
Nina, the difference is this. I'm listening to you very closely, and I understand you. That's the only reason why I'm able to counteract your
Fresh,
arguments.
Nina.
I can't counteract the arguments unless I understand what you're saying. You, however, don't understand what I'm saying, but trying to
Big Mo says what's funny is my mic is always, yeah, exactly. We can all hear him laughing. It's funny as shit.
counteract what I'm saying, which doesn't make sense because you can't counteract someone unless you understand their stance.
Your point is like you have an OnlyFans, a guy is never going to take you seriously. I'm telling
That's
you,
right.
I know that OnlyFans already has a very negative connotation to it, and I go into the dating scenes with these expectations. Like I know this.
Okay.
What are you arguing?
But that
what's the
I was
point?
gonna say so. Yeah. Like okay, so
you didn't say that earlier.
She's been there 28
but also,
times.
like what I'm
The
saying
basis of
is
the
it's
argument was
also
the real
doesn't-
world. So does the real world care about OnlyFans or no?
It does not.
Okay, there's no point.
It doesn't. Like,
there it is.
we're-
Yeah. Sneeko, listen, Sneeko just nailed. He's like, dude, there's no point. Fresh is done. Fresh is done. He's like, dude,
in a room where like everyone's in their 20s and very involved in social media, but you think that people like
I asked the chat. Everybody said one. Every single. You didn't even look at it when I asked the
you
poll.
sit in a room.
Oh, this is interesting. Nina wasn't looking at the chat, and Nina uses that chat. The chat is cocaine for Nina. That's why she never stops looking at the chat, because Nina's hot. She's fine. I'm gonna fly her out. She likes that kind of stuff.
Room of like successful people that are like all
There's
freaking
16,000 people. They're not all millionaires.
Okay.
I asked them. They all said one. They care.
All right,
Yes,
so
of
you
course.
Like, are you gonna let me talk?
What are you gonna say that's new?
You sit in a room where everyone's like,
He got her, man. He got her. Oh my God. There it is. He said, what are you going to say that's new? Exactly. All she's doing is repeating herself.
in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s and they're successful. Do you think they're gonna sit down and pick on you because you have OnlyFans? They don't give a damn.
They'll give you a 10.
Yes, they do. Of course they give a damn. They don't tell you they give a damn before they fuck you. But after they ask fuck you for the 5th or 6th time, then they'll leave you alone because you're an OnlyFans girl.
Attention,
They
yes.
don't give a damn. No, they don't
How would you know, Nina?
care.
Okay, for attention or
The
relationship.
fact that you
Oops. There it is. For attention or relationships. Yeah. For attention, no, they don't give a damn. If they're looking to smash. Roberto Moreno with the $5 super chat, good to see you in here, says Nina wants a husband. Of course she does. Of course she does. Smooth NY says, and I thought Nina was red-pilled. Nope. Typical modern woman.
they don't care how you got into the room, into the table of people that know how to handle their numbers and like
What is she
climb
talking
the
about?
social ladder.
Okay, do they want to date you or do they want to smoke?
But I'm not in the room to date. That's the thing. Like,
But
you
you're talking
guys
about the
think it's
real
all
world.
about
The real world is
dating.
other
It's not
people's
all about-
opinions.
But Nina, the issue is they will not respect you.
Right.
Then how am I, we're sitting on the same table,
wanna fuck.
working
But they're- but
together
they're-
as colleagues.
But here's the thing: if you get
this woman actually thinks. This woman actually thinks that we believe that she's sitting at the table with bankers and millionaires and entrepreneurs, and there she is, this little, 27-year-old, siren, this little piece of ass, this little hot girl. You think they respect her? Of course not. They want to fuck you, man. Devin says she'll be 35 before she figures it out. Dude, it might even take longer than that.
in a room with millionaires and you got a guy that made his millions off real estate, you got another guy that made his millions from starting a business, you got another guy that made his millions from such and such, you got an
Ooh, Big Mo says women are naturally red-pilled. They just want to do their fuckery later and stick the landing. Wow. Whoa. Big Mo. I'm going to tell you what, the Fresh and Fit boys definitely rubbing off on you, man. Very, very nice. Devin says she's so short-sighted. It doesn't affect my life. Yeah, now.
Entrepreneur. And here's, you know what's funny? You know who like shits on girls that do?
Kenosha says Nina doesn't give a fuck about the show. She's only there to promote herself in her OnlyFans. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I think that's obvious.
OnlyFans the most entrepreneurial women or women that never made their money doing any type of like sex work or whatever. They're the ones that talk the most shit about girls that do what you do. I'm not shitting on you for that. I'm just telling you that it comes with a negative connotation and people are just not going to respect it. Okay, you can make $100,000 a month. They're still going to look at it like she sells ass on the internet. They don't know all the hours that you spend.
Thank you.
Filming content, doing certain, getting cameras, all that other stuff. I'm not saying OnlyFans content is easy. It is. I know it's hard.
In the real world, who holds the leverage?
People are not going to take you seriously.
In the real world, who holds the leverage?
In the real world, who holds the leverage? Well, for sex, it's women. For relationships, it's men, Nina. You see, she's getting it. See, she's getting her priorities mixed up. She thinks it's about money. Dude, money isn't real. Money is not real. All money is it's a guarantee on someone else's time. That's all money is, man. No, in the real world, the people who hold the leverage are the people who give out the fucking rings. Women don't hold leverage in the real world because, well, women hold leverage in the world sexually. Yes, women control who has sex. We men, we control who the fuck gets the goddamn ring. We control who gets access to the 401k. We control who's on the will when we pass away. That's what we control. And what Nina does not realize is that by selling her soul, by selling ass, she is effectively lowering her value on the dating market.
The person that has the money, because that's the person.
But you said you were going into a room with
the person that has the money. No. Who has the leverage? The person that has the money? No, they don't. The person that has the money in the dating market? So you mean to tell me, see, this is funny. So now she's conflating economic success with dating success. Well, who has all the leverage? The person with the money. Okay. But if you're making more than someone else, if you're making more than the man that you're with, then that gives you the leverage. Is that attractive? Are you going to be turned on by a guy who makes less than you? Yeah, I didn't think so.
Your peers.
Okay, but
so therefore you're all the same, making the same money. If someone makes money doing real estate, someone else makes money starting a business, they're not going to take a woman seriously that made it through OnlyFans. I'm sorry.
There it is.
Okay, but you're not in the, like, you guys are, not everything revolves around dating and wanting to fuck and wanting to, like,
you're talking about
actually, it does. The world revolves around dating. The physical purpose of life is reproduction. The world doesn't revolve around dating. Yes, it does. Everybody wants relationships on certain levels. Ayush says, Brother Don, I think Nina will be on she'll be on OnlyFans 10 years in 10 years promoting her OnlyFans. Yeah, she probably will.
Business. If you walk into a room with a bunch of other business entrepreneurs, etc., they're not going to take someone seriously that made their money from OnlyFans.
No, they're not.
Especially if they're men.
What you think,
especially if they're men.
because you're not that person.
You're not that person? Myron is a millionaire. Fresh is a millionaire. They're those people. Now she's trying to say, well, the guys I rub elbows with, you're not the same caliber of guys I rub elbows with. Says the OnlyFans girl who's been on Fresh and Fit 28 times. Ay. Michael Gardner says, Nina's like a pimple. No matter how many times you pop it, another annoying one grows back. That's what her arguments are. I don't think Nina's a bad person. I think that she is, she's a chameleon. She thinks that she has credit and clout because she is a friend of the OnlyFans. Well, yeah. Because she's a regular on Fresh and Fit. But what this conversation is doing, what this conversation is exposing, is that Nina is just like all the rest. She's just like all the rest. She was under the impression, and she's getting a rude awakening now. She was under the impression that the Fresh and Fit audience, and maybe rightfully so, As far as the Fresh and Fit audience was concerned, they were like, well, Nina's different. Nina's a little bit different. Okay, she has OnlyFans, but she's, she seems to be traditional and this and that and the third. Nope. She's just like, she's just like the typical Miami thoughts. Young, check. Hot, check. Delusional, check. OnlyFans, check.
She belongs to the streets.
There it is, man. There it is.
I'm that person.
You're
and
not
I've
the other
never
person.
had someone disrespect me or look down on me for that reason.
Not to your face.
Yeah, not to your face. There it is.
Not to your face.
Of course, not to your face, Nina.
No, like I said, OnlyFans go just left.
I don't like it. Doesn't matter as long as we can sit in the same table and like have and agree and work towards something. I don't.
Who is she sitting at the table with, and what are you agreeing and working towards? Like, what are we working towards? Now we're just lying to win an argument. Okay, so she just bought a house. Big fucking deal. You're a 27-year-old who is acting like an adult. That's not going to get you in the room with CEOs and millionaires. Sorry. Like, fuck out of here. Miggy Beat says she finally exposed herself. That's right. That is absolutely right. This is who Nina really is. This is who Nina really is. Finally, the 28th time she's on the show, now the Fresh and Fit audience is like, okay, all right. Nina tries to come off as this Miami girl who's different from all the rest, but she's really not. She's the same. I usually say she's dangerous, Don. She really is typically a modern woman, but the way she covers is just beautiful. A skill a guy needs to learn to identify and watch out for. Yes. Yes. The fact that she is a sex worker, literally, like, it kills every argument. Kills every argument.
Don't care what you think.
As long as they let you keep living in delusion, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Like, I don't care as long as we can work together.
She doesn't care. She keeps saying, like the lady I had on yesterday. The lady I had on yesterday says, well, I'm not going to cook for a man. I'm not going to do all that. And da-da-da-da-da. I said, but you do understand that high-value men want women to do that. Well, I don't want a man. I don't want to get married. That's what women say. They say, well, I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z for a husband. I'm not going to do wife duties on a girlfriend's salary. Okay, well, then you'll never be married. Well, I don't want to be married. That's cap.
Stop the cap.
Nina's talking about the fact that she doesn't care. No, she cares. That's why she's arguing. You cannot see what Nina is doing, and I've talked about this before. As far as sex workers are concerned. I've talked about this before extensively.
Okay, you don't
because
care.
At the end of the day, it's just your opinion. It's just your opinion.
Does the real world care or not? It's our opinion.
I mean, the real world would like you'll put importance into like whatever the
Here
fuck.
we go. Look.
Anyways.
That's fine. We're not telling you not to pay your bills, Nina. What I'm telling you is that
the real world
your
cares.
actions and the way you make money has consequences. If you make
There
money
you
a certain
go.
way, there might be negative connotations. Just like a drug dealer might become a millionaire. Well, it's illegal. And he's
Bingo.
not respected for it because he made his money illicitly. I'm not saying
There
someone
it
that
is.
does OnlyFans is a drug dealer or doing something illegal, but it is frowned upon by society in general.
But there's a difference between doing something that's like deliberately violent and harmful
God,
to
you gotta be
society
fucking kidding me.
as a drug dealer,
That's
and
how
then
you justify
something
it.
that's just.
Uh-oh. That's how you justify it. There it is. There it is.
But it's just some.
See, again, I'm not a drug dealer. I'm not violent. Okay. Good for you for not breaking the law. Like, what do you want, a fucking cookie? Okay, so you don't break the law. Big fucking deal.
Something that
It's still frowned upon by society.
Morally wrong.
That's how you get over it in your head. I
It's
noticed
not
this.
illegal. It's not illegal because it's
Wow,
very
we know.
regulated.
This is the cope because
very
this is how you get over
I
it.
pay taxes.
We know,
but it's frowned upon,
dude.
Like it's still good.
Okay, I pay taxes. Okay, that does not mean like if a guy she's dating finds out she has an OnlyFans, and they're like, I don't think I want to take this seriously. But wait, I pay taxes. Oh, wait. You do OnlyFans, but you pay taxes? Oh, okay. Well, please, let's continue. No. I don't care. I do not care.
Good for the economy,
it's frowned
even
upon.
though it's morally wrong.
it's still frowned
good
upon.
for the. Okay.
Still frowned upon.
Nina, hold the L. Let's just move on, man.
Yeah, dude.
If I sold cigarettes, it's still frowned upon. I am a tobacco CEO. Still frowned upon. I make my money. You sell tobacco. What the fuck?
There you go.
I mean, not to the same level.
You're
It's like,
still like paying taxes and contributing to society,
yes,
right?
but it's
and
not
buying
respected
property.
by society is my point.
Oh my God.
What do you
I'm a meter maid.
What do you
People
do with
hate me.
other people's
It's frowned upon.
respect? What can you buy with other people's respect?
Oh, what can you buy with other people's respect? So now it's all about the money now, huh? Now it's all about the money, huh? Now, there are certain things that there's nothing really you can buy with respect, but one thing that you can get with respect is a ring. Guys, that's what this comes down to. She's still going to want a ring in the end. She's still going to want a ring. But she doesn't want to pay that initial price.
I cannot pay my loans.
That's how you
with
justify
other
it. That's
people's
fine, but it does
respect.
not change the fact that it's still frowned upon, Nina.
People can literally not respect you for the most insignificant things.
Okay, and you don't care.
Okay, and the problem with that is?
Care about it. That's fine.
If you don't care about respect, that's fine.
If you don't have money, people won't respect you. If you have
If you don't have money, people won't respect you if you're a man, Nina. If you're a man, Nina. See? She's a typical modern woman. She values money over respect. She values money over respect. Now, men value money and respect, but she's trying to justify it. Kyle 2020, $2 says, I noticed last night, hooker mindset like Raven. Dude, that's exactly what this is. That's exactly what this is. This is a hooker mindset. Mike Nogozones with the $5 super chat says, what's sad is that some simp will still be willing to overlook her career. That's Miami for you, land of sugar daddies. Well, it won't be any man that she loves and respects. The joke's on her.
have money, people won't respect you because
No
of
one's
the way that
arguing
you
that.
earn your money. So who
Ay,
fucking
ay, ay,
cares?
If you don't care, that's
People
fine.
respect you or
But the
don't.
basis of the argument was that the real world doesn't care. Can you concede that the world does care if you do OnlyFans?
There it is.
Like what matters to me personally
Delusion.
the most
Delusion.
is just like,
You live in your head. This is what social media does.
fact that I've
This
been
is
able
unbelievable.
to achieve certain
Chad,
things that I
she's
wouldn't.
been here 28 times.
And it's still, it's unbelievable.
You know what?
We've demonstrated several.
Yo, I swear to God, dude. I swear to God, Mo cannot stop laughing and it cracks me the fuck up.
Points where it matters in the real world,
And she doesn't
you
care.
still
What
yet
the
to
fuck?
accept it. And you say, instead of saying, you know what, you're right, it does matter in the real world.
need to be
You
right.
say, I don't care because I don't care about people's opinions and they'll pay my bills.
Because you know what? Like last year when I came
Oh boy.
here and we
Oh,
had that
boy.
discussion when OnlyFans was about to close, and you guys were all like, "Oh my God, Nino, like, what are you guys gonna do, all you OnlyFans girls?" You were speaking. This was over a year ago. Like you were speaking to. Like so much has changed within the last year, and I've been put in so much situations where like I've had to prove my income and my numbers matter so much. And
Hold on,
OnlyFans
stop the show.
never.
Uh-oh, here we
Stop the
go.
show.
Here we go. He's got her now. Listen.
Why do you have to put so much work to prove your income?
Because I'm a first-time buyer.
Because
I'm
the
an
world looks at OnlyFans negatively,
No,
Nina.
because
There it
I'm a
is. Got it. Got it. That's it. That's it. That's what happens. That is what happens. Guys, that's what happens. What Nina is here's the deal. Here's the deal, guys. How can I put this? Attractive I'm trying to figure out how to say this. So attractive women like Nina who work in the sex industry, they are cashing out early. Okay? They're cashing out early. What this means is they don't play the long game and marry young for a secure future. Okay, Nina is 27 years old. She's 27. She's still young, but she's not that young. She's not that young. Can you imagine what she looked like when she was 22? Nina's always been attractive, right? She's always been attractive, but she's not playing the long game. She's cashing in her chips early. Here's how it works. Women understand that sex sells, guys. And a woman's sexual allure is always for sale. Always, whether she's a working girl, a housewife, an adult film actress, OnlyFans, whatever. Women use their sexuality, like I said earlier, to leverage resources. Sometimes it's money. Sometimes that's security, sometimes it's a good life, or all three if they marry young. Now, the price they pay is also very different, even though all of the women are using the same currency, which is their sexual allure. And the price they pay is directly correlated with how quickly they realize a return. Stay with me here, guys, and I need you to pay attention here because I think this will illuminate a lot of things for both men and women, okay? What I'm going to do, I'm going to compare wives to exotic pole dancers, and then I'm going to blend that in with the reason why, what's her name, Nina's mindset is dangerous for her and women like her. Let's start with the wife. Let's start with the wife. The wife, the trophy wife, she gets the best return on investment so long as she marries young. You guys understand? She traded her most valuable assets early, her youth and her beauty, when her value was at its peak, for long-term security and a great lifestyle for both her and her children. Okay? The trophy wife doesn't suffer mentally, she doesn't suffer physically or psychologically because her lifestyle is sustainable long-term. This is what she's supposed to be doing, which means she doesn't suffer from the mental, the physical, or the psychological drawbacks that women in the sex industry are subject to. The trophy wife's return on investment, the ROI, it's not the quickest because it's spread out over time, kind of like an annuity. Now, here's something else. On the flip side, the wife also works the hardest for her return on investment because being a good wife and mother, not easy. But her return on investment is the best because she gets the security, she gets the commitment, she gets the gift, she gets the trip, she gets the resources, and she gets her children taken care of. She gets all of these things because she married a man of value, and raising his children yields this kind of return. Guys, the wife cashes in early and realizes an ROI that lasts a lifetime, sometimes even longer. Let's now look at the stripper. Let's move to the stripper. Relative to the wife, the stripper's ROI is front-loaded. Same with OnlyFans. Let's actually just call this OnlyFans girls, right? Exotic pole dancers, OnlyFans, whatever the case may be. She gets it all up front, and depending on her habits, her return could last a little bit longer and be a little bit higher, provided she's smart with her money, takes good care of herself to extend the life of her career, whatever, right? Now, unlike the wife, the stripper doesn't trade her assets. She leases them out, okay? The wife trades her assets for security. The stripper just leases them. She doesn't belong to anybody. Remember, the wife traded her youth and beauty to one man for a lifetime of access to his resources. The stripper leases her youth and beauty out to multiple men for access to whatever they have in their wallet at the time. There's a big difference there. Plus, the mental, physical, psychological cost of being a stripper is substantially higher than a wife. She's taking her clothes off from men she doesn't know for cash. After a while, that fucks with a woman's mind, even if she's not turning tricks in the champagne room for extra money, which a lot of them do. The ROI of a stripper is a lot faster than a wife's return on investment, and the reason for this is that because being a stripper is much easier than being a good wife and mother. Guys, being a good wife and mother requires a lifetime commitment. Being a stripper requires a lot less. All she's got to do is, I don't know, take off her clothes, shake her ass, show her boobs, maybe a little cooch, instant return. Rinse and repeat. Having dated a few of them myself, I can tell you that these girls can bring in typically between $1,500 and $3,000 a night. So while the stripper gets her return on investment quickly, it doesn't last that long because, as we all know, a woman's beauty fades very quickly. And when that happens, the party's over. No, strippers don't have to put in the years that the wife does. But as soon as the pole dancing career ends, so does the money. And if she saved some of the money she made, there's no lifetime ROI for a stripper. Why? Because she cashed out early, remember? She got all hers up front. She can't go back and ask for more. This is why strippers typically don't get married. They got all of their return up front. And if she has a kid, which most of them do, her prospects as a single mother will be abysmal. Unlike the young woman who got married young while the odometer was in the single digits, the former stripper will not command the same clientele because she was leased out to many different people. And men of value simply will not pay more for something that's been used more than they'll pay for something that's new. Men factor in a woman's usage rate for the same reason Kelley Blue Book and Carfax exists, because it matters. Because it matters. A man is not going to wife up a single mother in her mid-30s for the same reason a customer is not going to pay sticker price for a car with 100,000 miles on it. Now, a few levels down, we have escorts, porn stars, and porn stars. Their return is similar to the strippers, but the cost for getting paid to have sex is that it eliminates the possibility of being chosen by a man of value in any capacity. And I would also include sex in that. Mia Khalifa is very attractive. She's very attractive. I would never have sex with her. Lana Rhoades is also very attractive. I wouldn't fuck her with someone else's dick. And if guys like me think this way, these girls can kiss anything resembling a healthy relationship of any kind goodbye. So in layman's terms, to sum this all up, as far as the math is concerned, the more upfront money and resources an attractive woman gets, the higher the price she pays upfront. The trophy wife's payment is spread out over a long period of time because her return is paid back over a long period of time in the form of marriage. A stripper's payment is a little steeper because she realizes a quicker return up front in the form of cash payment. Escorts, working girls, adult film actresses, they pay a very, very steep price, but they also get a very high return, but that doesn't last long at all. So again, to reiterate, guys, there is absolutely nothing wrong with working in the sex industry if you're a woman. I'm not going to pass judgment on these women. I don't pass judgment on Nina. I don't point the finger at them, and I don't categorize them as morally bankrupt. They are simply doing what they have to do to make a living, either because they want to or because they have to. Sex workers get no shade from me. That said, I have absolutely zero tolerance for sex workers who cash out early, then complain that they can't find a relationship or a job because of their career choice. Guys, these women like to talk about how there's nothing wrong with what they're doing and that they're simply filling a market need and all the rest of that. And they're right. But then they turn right around and complain about how terrible their lives are because of their time as a sex worker. Mia Khalifa, who I just mentioned, can't stop complaining about how being an adult film star ruined her life. There's also Brie Olson from a few years back. Same with Brie Olson. She actually used to date, I think, Charlie Sheen. But a few years back, she was complaining that men don't want her and that companies don't want to hire her because she did adult films. Ladies, you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. You cannot enjoy the benefits of having bedroom fun with the most well-endowed men in the world on camera, but then expect men who are aware of your career to want to wife you up. Now, there are many obvious reasons, clearly, that men of value don't want to commit to sex workers. But one reason that doesn't get mentioned as much is the economical reasons as it pertains to fooling around. Man, that's how this works. That's how this works. For example, a man who is aware that a woman's done porn or she was an escort or a call girl doesn't want to commit resources to her. He doesn't want to commit resources to OnlyFans girls. He may fuck her a few times, but outside of that, he's not committing anything. And the economic reason is that she's already been used up. There's no tread left on our tires. More people have seen what she looks like naked than people she already knows. She's already gotten the maximum amount of money and resources that her prime youth and beauty could get her according to her market value. In other words, he is not going to give money or resources to a woman who is already cashed out. It doesn't make fiscal sense. And men, we don't think about this consciously. This is all calculated in our firmware. Biology simply will not allow us to invest in a woman who is not investable. This is why high-value men rarely commit to women who act like hoes. The more men she's been with, the less she's worth. The more men who have seen her naked, the less she's worth. And women know this. They act like they're surprised that nobody wants to buy the Lamborghini with 450,000 miles on it. Oh, they'll rent it for a day or two. They'll drive it around Miami or Vegas trying to score some easy box with a fake flex, but they're not buying that vehicle. They're investing in something that hasn't been driven that much. They want the car with little to zero mileage on it, regardless of the model. A lot of men, just to end my rant here, a lot of men would be very surprised if they knew how many attractive women have done adult films. They would be shocked at how many attractive women have nudes out there. How many attractive women have OnlyFans? Right? They'd be surprised. Dude, I knew so many guys in Vegas who found out 4 or 5 months into their relationship that their girlfriend, a woman they're seeing, used to be a call girl or an escort or a stripper or did 2 to 3 adult films. It didn't used to be this way, guys. It didn't. Women who worked in the sex industry were few and far between. Like, it was rare. But in this day and age, you'd be hard-pressed to find a 9 or a 10 that does not monetize their sexuality in some way, shape, or form. What percentage of women who come on to Fresh and Fit have an OnlyFans? Right? And this includes Nina. Nina not only believes that her value will never decline, she's the kind of woman who expects to cash out on both ends of her sexual prime. She expects to cash out on both ends of her sexual prime. Nina thinks that she's going to make all this money on OnlyFans, but then still be married to a high-value guy. It's not going to work that way. It's not going to work that way. She is already a lost cause.
First-time buyer.
This is
Like,
unbelievable.
you literally told me yourself that, like, buying a home as a first-time buyer, it's the hardest one.
It is.
Like, Ken McRoy said that. Like, Robert Kiyosaki said that.
It
Like,
is.
it is the hardest thing
Listen
to
to
do.
her.
Be a
Dude, listen to her justify this.
first-time buyer.
But you definitely don't help yourself by
But
being
I
involved in
never-
that type of profession.
No, because I never got denied due to my numbers or due to my profession.
All right, the chat's getting bored.
It's like
Tony Esquire, $5 says, although I don't agree with Nina's OnlyFans job, she stood in the ring against the entire panel and chat. I was impressed. You shouldn't really be too impressed with that. Delusion knows no bounds. Delusion knows no bounds. I appreciate the support. Average Man Unplugged. Oh, wow, I haven't seen you in here in a while. $5 says, finally caught a live stream. Sorry, I've been busy since the last time I super chatted you. I just surpassed 1,000 subs. 1,000 subs, and I just surpassed 21K subs a few hours ago. Keep saving lives. Appreciate that, Average Man Unplugged. Let's continue.
it's more about your numbers than it is
Nina.
about how you make the money.
Yo, Snicker, you were right, bro. That flick was
You
worth
could
it.
literally you could literally like make your money off of like I don't know selling.
Yo, he is still laughing.
Some they just don't want to be safe. This is why dating is going to get worse in the next 5 years because social media has encouraged so much delusion. These women do not need to operate in reality.
There it
They'll
is.
just justify anything
There
in
it-
their own head. These
No.
women
Oh
are
my
main characters,
God.
I swear to God.
I mean, you guys can say all you want, but like
Thank you.
I
what? But it
bought a
doesn't matter to
condo
you.
thanks to OnlyFans,
Nobody
and I
gives a
never got a bank and I never got a loan.
Good.
denial,
You
and
bought a
that's all that
condo.
matters
That's
to
great.
me.
That's
Nina.
great.
That's
Nina.
all that matters.
Okay, if
to
the
me.
real world doesn't matter to you, then at least concede that the real world does care. Because now you're saying you just don't care about the real world. You started off by saying the real world doesn't care.
There it is.
It proves to you that it does.
You die, and what do you leave behind to your family?
Nobody's talking
Oh my God. What the? Now we're talking about legacy? Oh my
about that.
Nina.
That matters to me, though.
Nina.
That's not the point, though.
The point is exist in reality, not in your own
You
head.
die, and what do you leave behind? A bunch of bank accounts.
Every single time
I die, and what do I leave behind? Property.
It's a goddamn dude. Yo, Mo's about to pass out.
From the point.
Yo,
Are you trolling?
yo, Mo's about to
Y'all don't
pass.
get the point. Like,
No, we do get it. We
Yo.
do get it. But like
Yo, even old girl next to Byron is laughing.
they tell you something and then you
don't wanna
answer
hear
with
it.
something else that has nothing to do with what they're telling you.
because your
and then we
point
just
is
keep
like
going
nobody's
and going and going, and it's like
because your point is
sheesh.
like nobody's ever gonna take you seriously because you do
That's-
OnlyFans.
that wasn't
Fevrin Evervescence. Oh, I'm sorry. Fevrin Evanescence says Nina is how a lot of men get fooled by thinking a woman is in your corner, but when she feels comfortable enough, then shows her true colors. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. She feels comfortable enough on the Fresh and Fit podcast. And oh by the way, I'm actually going to going to show you guys, because now we're getting to the point of diminishing returns. I'm going to show you guys the end of that other Fresh and Fit breakdown we did.
That's how it be.
Tommy tells the truth. Donovan does too.
I love Fresh. I love Myron. I love Chris. You guys feel like
Merch.
home to me. Like you feel like a part of my circle. We're literally right down the street, but
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
I don't know.
She's like, I don't know this nigga back here, man. Fuck this nigga.
It is what it is. Onlyfans.com/Nina the Pineapple.
There it is. There it is. There it is. You see? There it is. Onlyfans.com/Nina the Pineapple. There it was. There it was. That whole diatribe. That whole diatribe. Boom. Onlyfans.com/Nina the Pineapple. Now watch.
I
was waiting for it.
Follow.
Subscribe.
Those ad pictures, those
And I love you, Big Mo. Thank you for
Now watch.
Big Mo.
Thank you for doing the work that you do.
All right, Shay.
All right.
Please say something that's not stupid.
Oh my god.
And please don't laugh. I'm joking.
Great education. Something.
This was
Sorry.
one hell of an episode,
I feel
dude.
like,
oops.
No, this is a.
Shout out to Shay for bringing the two girls on the panel.
Thank you, because I be
raise
bringing
your hand
people.
if Shay brought you on
Shay
tonight.
Be honest with yourself. Come on out.
She said, be honest with yourself.
Juicy and
Frank Moolah says FNF is her marketing kit. Dude, it is the engine. Dude, she would not have I'm gonna say Azakar, $2 says she's been on Fresh and Fit 20 times. Yes. She is the reason she's on Fresh and Fit is to push her OnlyFans.
And the one
Blame me.
Yo, Shay,
Don't make me look stupid. I'm just kidding. It's okay.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on Nina. Keep an eye on Nina. I was right next to her. Nina actually breaks down. She actually breaks down and starts crying before the show ends.
Hey, no, Shay's a good sport, man.
I like her. She's sweet.
Yeah. Rolling with the punches when your age and everything.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Wow.
All right. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Oh, go ahead.
I saw her face when she said it.
Feelings.
Every day you're learning, shine. You know, it's great if you have that
Look at
opportunity.
Nina. Look at
It seems
Nina.
Like you need a follower.
Watch
You know,
this.
It's great.
Watch. I'm actually gonna blow this up so you guys can see. I'm gonna blow this up so that you guys can see that Nina is actually losing it. She's actually losing it. Hang on a second. Where's my there it is, display capture. Keep an eye on Nina, guys. Keep an eye on Nina. I'm gonna blow this way up. Keep an eye on Nina because she is starting to break down. She is starting to break down. And the reason she broke down is because anytime she tried to talk any bullshit, I was right there. Watch.
If you have that opportunity.
Look at her. Do you see her?
But everybody's not fortunate.
Watch,
You know,
watch.
Because of
Look
the
at her.
world and society that we live in, it sucks.
Look at her.
But unfortunately,
Look,
for a lot
see?
of minorities, we just have that lack. And
See?
if
Look.
you can be a father, be a father, you know? And if the moms is being a bitch,
Look at this.
Guess what? Still find a way to reach out and be that father. Don't say fuck your kids because
my
at
book,
the end of
fuck
the
them
day,
kids.
fuck
Fuck them
your
kids.
kids. Don't be like him because at the end of the day, guess what? He say fuck your kids, but he still takes care of them. So at
Because
the
I
end
don't
of the
have
day,
no woman that's sitting up there trying to keep them from me.
exactly. So
No, you can't say exactly like you just said. Fight
Watch,
through
watch,
that
watch,
shit.
watch.
It's saying as a far you can say, oh, I have a woman that is stopping me, but guess what? If that child sees you trying to send letters or listen, you can literally get something for your child, and you know where your child goes to school, drop
Juicy.
Hey,
All
you
right.
could. I'm just saying, and degrees in social
Watch.
work. Okay,
Watch Nina. Here we go. Yeah. All right.
Okay,
All
you
right.
could. I'm just saying. In reality, I have the experience. I've done it. I've been working with my mom. Okay.
Blah, blah,
whether
blah.
she's a big again, I am hoping
Oh my-
company.
Dude, Juicy fucking talked forever.
Models AFI.
All right, some time now. Turn to doing my choice. Show Chris. What's that, guys? Peace.
Peace.
Watch.
At 6 p.m.
All right,
Look.
next.
Look, 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 look,
Hood
look,
Ninja
look.
Fresh. Yo, Chris.
Watch.
What you on, G?
Live.
Watch Nina.
All right, next.
All right. All right, cool. With that said, guys, we will have Rolo Tomasi tomorrow at 6 p.m. One-on-one interview with him. We'll catch you guys then. Peace.
Peace.
There it was. And as soon as the camera stopped rolling, Nina bawled. She bawled. Why was she crying? I don't know. But I do know this. I did not let her get away. I did not let her get away. I did not let her get away with anything. I don't let females talk. I mean, dude, I don't do any of that stuff. Like, I don't let anything go. Like, if a bitch says something that's ridiculous, I'm gonna be like, you're full of shit. TBC Zach, $10. Appreciate that. Says, Donovan, I called and talked to you, and you once told me to go into monk mode. 1 year later, and I'm up $80,000 a year now, over six figures, and down 100 pounds. Oh, and I speak fluent Womanese. Thank you. Those are the kinds of super chats I love to see. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. King and Dream says, Donovan, didn't you break down Nina before? I remember her being sad before. That was the one. That was the time. That was the time. Like, dude, it wasn't just me. It was me and Tommy. Like, me and Tommy went in on her. Me and Tommy went in on her. Holy moly. Holy moly moly. I saw a funny comment. I actually saw a funny comment. Hang on. Hang on, I just saw a funny comment. Somebody said that, B Average Gaming says, I know it's wrong, but I'd still risk it with Nina with her butt moves like that. Man, yo, real talk, 10, 12 years ago, I might have risked it too. I gotta risk that too. I gotta risk that too. You guys know how that goes. Fantastic show tonight, guys. Thank you for all of your super fans. B Average Gaming says, sorry, bro, she's just too fine. Look, I feel you, man. I feel you. Like, I'm not gonna hate on you. I'm not gonna hate on you. Like, I get it. Like, Nina's a bad bitch. Like, she's hot, but she's a lost cause. She, what?
She belongs to the streets.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys all for tuning in to this, the 895th edition of TSR Live. Thank you for your support. Shout out to Big Mo for making an appearance in the chat. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good evening.
She got that melanin skin. She got that melanin skin. She got that melanin skin. I ain't finna lie, but baby girl fine. She got some melanin in her. Yeah, she got that melanin in her. She got that melanin skin. It's for all the ladies with melanin that's comfortable in their element. You a natural baby, that's evident. All the shade they throw your way is irrelevant. That shade you rock can be like medicine. Always on point, I respect your regimen. But you was bred to win, so you don't really gotta try. Other bitches style jack and wonder why. Cause they wanna be like you. They be buying booty that you grew natural. But they be trying to tan so they look like you. Trying to keep a man so they cook like you. Light skinned, dark skinned, don't even matter.